President-elect Trump urging an end to the war in Ukraine.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and it should have never been allowed to happen.
On NBC's Meet the Press with Kristen Welker, the incoming president says negotiations should begin.
It would have never happened, Ukraine, Russia. But the number of people that are being killed.
The Kremlin responded that it's open to talks with Ukraine. Trump is also renewing warnings he'd consider pulling the United States out of NATO unless certain conditions are met.
They have to pay their bills. If they pay their bills, absolutely.
Trump offered his ceasefire ideas after a meeting with the president of France and the president of Ukraine taking place in Paris this weekend before the ceremonies that reopened the Notre Dame Cathedral. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Large volcanic eruption in the Philippines sending a plume of ash and gases up to 2 miles high following a powerful blast that sent villagers fleeing to shelters. News and analysis, townhall.com. Merriam-Webster out with its 2024 Word of the Year.
We've heard about brain rot from Oxford and brat from HarperCollins. Now it's Merriam-Webster's turn. Polarization is their 2024 Word of the Year, derived from data tracking a rise in searches and usage. It's maybe not surprising considering the 2024 election year. The word has scientific meaning, but in this case commonly means causing strong disagreement between opposing factions or groupings. Editor-at-large Peter Sokolowski says it describes a specific type of division trending towards the extremes rather than the center. I'm Jennifer King.
Star outfielder Juan Soto and the New York Mets reportedly agreeing to a record $765 million 15-year contract. Soto's deal is the largest and the longest in Major League Baseball history. It tops Shohei Ohtani's $700 million 10-year contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Ah, yes. Welcome to it.
The 9th day of December.
Indeed.
We're officially, 2 weeks and 2 days away from Christmas?
Is it 9 ladies dancing?
Yeah.
10 lords leaping, I believe.
I didn't realize we're already in the 12 days. I was like, I got the 12 days, and then thanks to our boss putting in 12 days, I saw 12 days, like, oh, no way, we're already in the 12 days?
Yeah. Well, technically, I think
days.
we're like, if we do like to the 25th, I want to say it's, let's see, 20, it's the 19th is 10. So technically today would be the 21st, would be 12 days away. So we're still like 4 days away from the official 12 days. But
we don't count weekends.
No.
Our 12 days take the weekends off.
By the way, the cost to purchase all 12 items in the 12 days of Christmas this year, there's a group called PNC Research that every year compiles lists. It's a way to watch inflation.
Sure.
They said the cost is up 9% over last year.
Okay. And it was probably high last year.
The main cost is the Lords of Leaping.
Oh,
because you're basically paying for 8 male ballet dancers to come out and work for an hour. The cheapest is the...
so the male ones are more expensive than
seemingly
the lady leapings?
The ladies dancing. Of course, you're also hiring less ladies dancing. But the cheapest was the 8 Maids a Milkin. because you're basically paying 8 women to come out and milk a cow for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And it's like $29, something like that. Or no, I think it was like $59, something like that. But yeah, it's the cheapest thing on the entire list.
Like where do they get the pricing from? Because I imagine, a milking maid in New York City is more expensive than a milking maid.
Sure, they probably base it on the median minimum wage of a milker, a female milker in America. So the median would be, not the least they get paid, but definitely not the most.
I hate to burst your bubble, but what rule says a maid has to be a woman?
Well, I mean, this is the song dictates it. It's a maid a milking.
Well, the maid could be a man. You ever heard of a male maid?
A man-made?
Yeah, man-made.
I've heard of man-made, but I've never heard of a man-made.
Can't believe it. It's got to be a maid. It could be a man.
Yeah, but then he's not a maid.
Well, what is he?
He's a man.
A maid, like a maid is a cleaner.
Right. But yeah, I don't know what you'd call a male.
A maid.
All right, Google.
I think maid is a gender-neutral term, like nurse. That's what I'm thinking.
But I thought maid was a
maid in?
Conglomeration of maid in, yeah.
Maybe. I just thought a maid was the job.
Male maid.
I don't know.
A manservant or a butler is what you would call a male maid.
I think we just go with maid.
Yeah. I do like the idea of 8 men servants a milking though.
Now we got a party.
And let's not forget, those geese are a laying.
And I can't believe there's nothing else cheaper on the list than that.
Yeah, that's the least, because you're only paying for 1 hour.
I know. Let's see, what's the first? Let's see, the 5 gold rings. 2 turtle doves are pretty pricey.
2 turtle, I think it was like they work out to like $200 and something. All
right. What's 3 again?
3 is 3 French hens.
Yeah.
A lot of birds getting given in this song. I hope they have a newspaper subscription.
Well, poultry's probably up this year.
That's, yeah.
The poultry's probably up. So. Anyway. Is it, I hope there's, I'm sure there is. But, like, you know how there's these people that literally love doing things that do love, like the one that's, like, the trend that I saw over Thanksgiving, that I don't know who started this one, but okay, is everyone wants to recreate the dinner from the Peanuts Thanksgiving special with the popcorn and.
See, I saw
that more this time than any other time.
I saw it a couple of times pop up, but it was one where there was like side by side or a top bottom where it showed Snoopy putting the dinner together and somebody serving
doing
it
their
up.
version of it. Yeah, a lot of that. So, do you think there's someone actually trying to get like all the 12-day stuff out there? I mean, you got to be.
I got to imagine.
You got to be some kind of philanthropist to do
well,
it.
And here's the question though:
it's crazy expensive.
Every day you read the whole list down? So do you give her more French hens every day? Like, I would get real annoyed if my true love was just dropping French hens off at my door every single day.
Yeah, I feel like you just give them the one each 12 day. Like on the first day of Christmas, got the partridge in a pear tree.
I hope, because otherwise that
and
gold
the
rings.
day before you're getting the whatever 12 is.
And they said something like if you endeavor to get all of the items on the 12 days, like they mention it with, every single day repeating the items, it's something like $247,000.
So, and who decided it was an hour?
That's just the determination that they used.
Like, if you're giving me the gift of 8 milking maids.
Yeah, do you really think you need more than 1 hour of maid milking?
Depends on how many cows I have. I mean, if I have a bunch of cows, then they're going to need milking again.
That's true. So that's one of those that needs to be like a gift, like a membership.
Well, if I don't have a cow, do they just go to the store and get me milk?
That's a good question.
And then I just need one a day.
Or did they provide their own cows? And the other question is, are we talking about raw milk here? Have they pasteurized this? Have we checked it for bird flu? The questions, they need to be answered.
Yeah. I'm going to go with it's unpasteurized.
Unpasteurized, so raw milk.
Yes.
8 manservants of raw milking.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, man. Well, anyway, I think I never was a huge fan of that song to begin with. Now I'm just like really.
I'm just
out on it. There's so many better Christmas songs.
No,
Why don't we go with that one?
I prefer the Strange Brew version.
And a beer.
And a beer.
In a tree. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I think it's on the record somewhere.
5 golden toques.
You know what? Maybe that's going to be my Christmas. Everyone keeps trying to crowbar stupid Die Hard as a Christmas movie. Strange Brew is a Christmas movie.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Everyone keeps trying to crowbar Die Hard because you've been pretty hard and heavy on that train for a lot of years, my friend.
I still am.
I was going to say, you can't sit here and say everybody when you're part of everybody.
Well, I just respond to the everybody's. I don't go around telling people it's not a Christmas movie. I'm just yelling at the people that keep telling me it is.
Fair.
I don't run out saying, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I just don't say anything until these people come out.
But yeah, I would say Strange Brew is maybe not definitely a holiday movie.
It's way more Christmassy than Die Hard. That's got a happy message. Ain't nobody killing nobody, really. I mean, dog drinks an excessive amount of beer and they pee out a fire. I mean, sure of that. Max von Sydow's kind of dressed up in some weird Darth Vader thing, but other than that.
Max von who?
Sydow back then.
Okay.
I don't know where it switched to Sydow all of a sudden, but back in my day, it was Max von Sydow. And then he shows up on an award show. He's von Sydow all of a sudden. Like, people still, like, when did that happen? I missed that meeting. It was really overnight. It was, like, everyone, Max von Sydow. Mac, he's so great. And all of a sudden one day, Max von Sydow, I love him. Who?
It's one of those Mandela effects.
It's always Max von Sydow.
And there was a cornucopia behind the fruits on the Fruit of the Loom logo.
And the Kazam one is the one that keeps going up.
No, the Shazam, yeah.
Shazam or Kazam or
Shazam starring Sinbad.
Yes. Oh, man. Let me give you the rundown for today's show.
Boy, who'd have thought between the two of them that Shaq would have the longer career?
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, Shaq was an NBA star.
Yeah.
He had a much bigger platform. I mean, Sinbad had a couple of movies.
Now he's just doing side quests.
Yeah.
Making his own, putting his face on gummies.
A couple TV shows. Wasn't he like a star on a few TV shows?
I think he's been on
too?
a couple of shows.
Yeah.
He runs Papa John's.
Is he working still?
Yeah, the CEO of Papa John's.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his current gig?
He bought out essentially Papa John's. And
Sinbad is the CEO.
Oh, Sinbad. I thought we were talking about Shaq.
No, Sinbad. I know what Shaq's doing. He's on all
Okay.
the time. I'm wondering. I ain't seen Sinbad in a minute.
I think maybe he's hosting Midnight at the Apollo. I don't know.
It's like, Sinbad. I was like, what?
I still thought we were talking about Shaq.
I knew what Shaq's up to. He's on TV every day.
Right.
You can't not see his face. He pops up. I see him
So
more
hold on.
since he's been retired. Him and Manning. I see more since he's been retired.
For at
than
least
he was working.
For at least 30 seconds, you were envisioning Sinbad as the CEO of Papa John's.
Yes, I was. I was absolutely doing that.
I love that I could paint that picture.
And
for
I was
you.
like, wow. And then I was like, maybe I should go to try Papa John's. I gotta see what's going on there. Shazam.
Shazam.
Shazam. I gotta get a pizza.
But I interrupted. I digress. Give us the rundown.
Yes. Sinbad will be on. No.
Sinbad's coming on at the 8 o'clock.
New CEO of Papa John's, Sinbad will be. And I hope he goes by Sinbad as the CEO too.
Of course.
Not whatever his real name is, Sinbad.
I genuinely just hope he changed it to Sinbad.
And then like all his whole like board of directors are all one name celebrities.
David Atkins. That's so boring.
Oh yeah. Sinbad. All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. Our first guest has two names. The first and the last. Matt Bristol with Bristol Law Office will join us here in just a bit and pop in for his monthly visit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had on Friday with Scott Booker. He's with the Small Business Development Center for Roswell and Ruidoso. And on Wednesday, I believe, they're going to have their big SBDC seminar out at the ENMUR campus. I know it's a lot of letters. And so we talk about that here. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to have Larry Martin and Denise Trowbridge join us with the Midday Lions Club talking about, I know they've got their carousel event coming up, or going on here the next couple weekends. But they got some other stuff, too, that they want to come on the radio and talk about. So we'll do that here about 9:15. Plus, we'll have all of your newses of the local and national variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by tomorrow. Cold front headed in from the central Rockies. For now, we'll stay sunny and mild. Afternoon high will be in the upper 60s. We'll have some clouds for the overnight hours, low to mid 30s, and then maybe a few snow flurries early on Tuesday. Cloudy and a lot cooler in the afternoon. We should see some sunshine by late in the day, though. Mid 40s on the high. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 41 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62% with winds currently out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Looking at partly cloudy skies, then gradually becoming full-on sunny. Actually, nice day today. High expected to be near 70, 69 officially with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Increasing clouds tonight. Expect an overnight low of 33 degrees. Winds out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing. Expect a high of only 47 tomorrow. It's getting roller coastery because we're going to be like near 70 today and then a high near 50 tomorrow. So, and they're not even really talking about winds, which kind of, usually when you see those types of temp swings, there's some kind of wind, but 10-15 is what they're saying. So, I don't know, just winter, I guess. And then for tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight low of 24. It'll be chilly Tuesday night. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, 56 for a high. Winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny, back up near 60 for a high. Yeah. And then we're going to float on into the 60s for the rest of the week. It looks like Friday, sunny, 66. And then for the weekend, Saturday, sunny and 63. Sunny and 63 as well on Sunday. All right, it is 7:20. We're going to take a quick 3.5-minute break. That includes your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten. And then on the other side, Matt Bristol with Bristol Law will join us. Don't go away.
Company's coming, and it's time to get things ready for the holidays during Glenn's Furniture Fix Up Your Home for the Holidays sale. You'll find one of our best selections of dinette and dining room groups, pub tables, bar stools, and living room groups. Folks across southeast New Mexico have come to know Glenn's Furniture as the hallmark of style and quality in home furnishings. Get ready for the holidays while the selection is at its best. Remember, always free delivery and setup at Glenn's Furniture, Alameda and Union, Roswell.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
KC Light Tower is proud to partner with the Pena Project in ringing in the new year with Mark Chestnut. New Year's Eve from 6 p.m. to midnight at the Artesia Country Club. Come get drinks, food, and socialize before the concert starts at 9. In a combined effort with Royal Services LLC of Artesia, the Pena Project is here to offset some of the costs associated with the passing of a loved one. All money from this event goes towards the Pena Project, who helps cover the costs of funerals of unexpected deaths. KC Light Tower's professional mechanics are always out in the field and are Deutsch certified. KCLT is there to make sure your site is ready when you are and can certify your man lift and forklift operators on your site or on our yards. Save KCLT in your contacts. 575-308-8647. Surface rental equipment all in one place. KCLT, helping you keep America running. Proud sponsor of the Pena Project.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the fourth floor, Matt Bristol back with Bristol Law. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing well. How was your Thanksgiving? I don't think I've talked to you on the radio since Thanksgiving.
It was quiet. We went up to Albuquerque to visit stepson and his wife. Had a good time.
Good,
and how was
good.
y'all's Thanksgiving?
Good. We went to Albuquerque and just did the family thing and ate copious amounts of turkey, watched football, and passed out in front of the TV. All that
Good.
stuff.
And when is Kim off for the winter break? When does that happen?
Let's see. I believe she's got another week or so. I know we're going to head out from Maryland here on like the 22nd or 23rd, that weekend before there. So, but I believe she's off that. I believe she gets off that Friday. So, like the 20, whatever it is, that whatever that week before Christmas is, I think that's her last week.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I know it's coming up, but since I don't have kids in school, I'm a little fuzzy on the dates.
Yeah, and I'd be honest, I am too till she tells me. It's like, oh, you're back. Okay, yeah. It's like, I'm off next week. Oh, okay, cool.
We'll have a good time in Maryland.
Yeah, we'll do. And are you going to be in town or?
Yep, just going to stay in town. This Wednesday I leave for South Dakota and do a little pheasant hunting up there for a few days.
Nice. Is that going to be Christmas dinner you bringing back? Or?
With any luck.
Is there a certain pheasant or just quail or whatever you got out there?
It's pheasant.
Okay.
It's just on a preserve.
Oh, okay.
So they're how we think of pheasants, Chinese ring.
Gotcha.
Ringnecks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of, all little birds that, kind of gust out, boom, boom, boom. All of them taste like chicken. And they all fry up pretty good.
Yeah, they do.
Good deal. Well, of course, for folks not familiar, Matt joins us each and every month. And generally, we just talk just legal advice, whether it's for the family, sometimes it's for the business. But it's more the preparing, doing things on the front end to avoid dealings with guys like Matt as much on the back end.
Yes. Yes, proper planning prevents poor performance. That's
Absolutely.
for sure.
And so we discuss various issues from, wills and that side of thing on family side, but to, the differences between partnerships and LLCs and the advantages and disadvantages of all of those.
Yeah.
So.
And as we've said before, holidays is a time when family gets together. And that's always a good time for the parents to sit the kids down and say, by the way, this is the estate plan, and this is how things can be divvied up. Because one of the things that I see all the time is people come in and they say, well, that's not what Dad told me. Mm-hmm. And so everybody's got a whole different story about, stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that's why there's the wills and what you do with all that. But even the more important thing is and this is kind of where Matt's going, is when you do die, does someone know what to do next?
Exactly.
And that's really what that conversation's about is, do they know where these important papers were, or is there a certain person they're supposed to talk to do? I mean, do they know
Absolutely.
What is there a plan in place that should you leave the earth, what happens next? And that should be, every family should have something like that.
Exactly.
For especially for, the breadwinners, the people that are kind of, providing the finances for the family. What happens when they're gone? What happens next?
Well, especially if there's just one spouse who handles the finances and keeps the other one in the dark. That's never a good thing.
Sure.
But now that the whole family is here, let's get a safe deposit box and put all the important papers in there, get everybody a signature on the safe deposit box so they can get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say, well, I've got a gun case or whatever, and a gun safe, and I tell them, well, that's rated for a certain amount of heat for a certain amount of time. And then after that, everything inside is going to bake like a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get a safe deposit box at a bank and put the important papers in there.
It's things like that. It's always a good idea to have off-site. It just is just smart, just that extra layer of protection for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, toss in if you got life insurance, toss it in there, the policy.
If you're a veteran, I'd even keep a DD-214.
DD-214,
just not a bad idea.
An extra copy or two.
Yeah. Anyway, by the way, and they should have told you this, but if they didn't, newly veterans, that DD-214 is very hard to replace if you lose it. Make a bazillion copies of it. Put one, I would even suggest maybe go down to the clerk's office and register it as a public document. Therefore, if you do lose it, it's a lot easier to replace.
Huh. And so it doesn't have too much personal information.
Yeah, there is a thing. They told us go down to the clerk's office. I remember back when I don't remember the exact phrasing that you used. They said go down there and you can have it, and you submit to them, and they can make it something on public file so that you can have access to it if you do lose a copy of it. But it's very, very difficult to replace. If I don't know why, but Veterans Affairs make it very difficult to get a replacement of that.
Well, once it's recorded as public record, so you might
there might be some pitfalls there. That was just advice I remember they gave me back out processing many moons ago in the military.
Yeah, there's and I don't know if there's a way that they can just hold it but not make it public record or not. There's a process actually for wills that they will hold on to them but not make them public. But interesting. DD-214, bazillion copies.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, it's just a good idea to have that kind of stuff.
It is. So, mom and dad, the thing you want to think about, the worst case scenario is there's a fire.
Or a flood.
Or flood. And now and now the kids are saying, well, we need to make a claim on the car insurance. Who did mom and dad have for car insurance? Well, Mike, I thought you knew.
Yeah.
Mike says, oh, Matt, I thought you knew.
Oh, they used to have Geico or whatever. It's like, well, they haven't had that in 30 years or whatever. That's the thing,
So if you pay online, print out a receipt, write motor vehicle on it, stick in the safe deposit box, and really it doesn't have to be any more complicated than that.
Sure.
Or even an envelope if you're paying by mail. Yeah, so if there's an envelope has farmer's insurance, return address, and you write house on the front of the envelope, the kids are going to figure the rest of that out.
Yeah, it is a great way to make that so much simpler. And believe it or not, your family's going to be dealing with the stress of just you gone and everything else. The fact that you do something like that and tell them, even if you surprise them, say, hey, go here. And then when they open it and see, wow, he's got a color coded and labeled and laminated and everything else. Awesome. But however you tell them that way, but I'm sure, they would, that would give them just that much less stress in a very stressful time in your family's life.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be any more complicated than just
if you really want to make it easy for your family, these are the kinds of things that you can do to help them after you're gone. It really does.
Yeah. Just throw in a bank statement, check in your savings, throw in the 401k statement. Those things are good for years and years. Even if you end up moving your 401k somewhere, there's a paper trail.
Absolutely.
And we can, follow that paper trail.
And obviously that's something you need to keep up to date on a yearly or whatever basis is, as often, as your bills change or those things, you pay off a loan and you don't need to, keep spending payments to something you already paid off. You get that out of there. And that way they know, when it does time to come and what assets, what bills need to be paid, which ones do not need to be paid and those kinds of things. And again, that's another conversation for another day. And, when it comes to dealing with the states and what bills to pay, and that's sometimes a great conversation with a guy like Matt, and the answer is never the same for two people. It depends on their circumstances. Sometimes you should pay that bill. No. That's a waste of money for you to pay that bill. So.
Yeah. I always tell people, just don't pay everything that comes in. Talk to me before you pay it. But if you're, the spouse that controls all the money, all the bill paying, to parentheses, to the detriment of the other spouse, then you probably should have two packages. One is, day of the month, 1 through 31, and then January through December package. And start writing down on the 1 through 31, what day of the month do you pay, what utilities or auto payment, house payment. Write that stuff down. And then the January through December stack, for what month do you pay the car insurance? Every 6 months? Do you pay it monthly? Taxes come up twice a year. Write those down.
I guess, since we do live in this age where most people don't have I just have one of these handy.
Checkbook.
They do it all here. It might be good to include passwords to your websites for your banking or your apps or whatever in that documentation as well, so they can see what that, but then they can also look at this paper trail too and say, oh, it pays on the 5th, and you look, oh, look, sure enough, every date on the 5th, there's a withdrawal for X amount of dollars there.
Well, if your spouse, passes away, the surviving spouse, their brain's going to be Swiss cheese, and they're not going to think, oh, I'll just look at the bank statement online to see what day of the month bills are paid. They're not thinking clearly.
Sure. But I mean, just an added layer of just maybe, that in a case, they start having questions about things that gives them in essence and then they can do it without having to go through the banks giving 27 death certificates and all that to get that. Because that's the only other way they're going to get that information is that they got to do the death certificates. And
well, if most of those accounts can be joint accounts. So
sure, that's true. I'm just thinking if no one else had access to that account except for, that's where I'm thinking my brain's at.
So as attorneys actually have to have a written succession plan. It's required by the state bar.
Okay.
They call it succession, but it's really how the business is going to shut down if the attorney dies. And so you name another attorney, and then they've got this like 4 or 5 pages where you fill out the blanks of, where are the bank accounts, where are the passwords, is there litigation calendar, where are the client files, kind of stuff. And so, I mean, if you're a super organized person, you could do something like that. So in my succession plan, I actually put extra pages in there of don't forget payroll.
Right.
Pay the employees.
Also, they'll remind you. Excuse me. I know you lost somebody, but
yeah. And if we have any court cases, notify the court that that we're dead. Call off the court hearing if there's anything set up for a court hearing. Contact all the clients, tell them to come and get their stuff. So even just a succession plan like that, if you're the dominant spouse or the non-dominant spouse.
I'm going to guess, too, is this is also a good time to even have not just the financial, but the medical questions, too. If you're, senior getting up there and you're like, hopefully you've had these conversations before, but, okay, if, I'm going to have your sister be the one that's the power of attorney for me in medical situations, but you're going to be the power attorney, and maybe that conversation needs to be had too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just so everyone's on the same page because the moment you're in the hospital and stress levels are up, that's the last thing you want is everyone trying to figure out who gets to call the shots.
Yeah, so different children have different skill sets. So your medical POA may be a child with a medical background. Your financial POA may be a child with a financial background or more level head about money kind of stuff. So each child, has a different skill set, and you should pick according to the skill set.
Absolutely.
But let everybody know.
Yeah, that's how you avoid the fights. That's how you avoid the animosity, all the other things that'll brew and bubble up if you just kind of put everyone on the same page and have the conversations from the jump. Therefore, it doesn't create added stress, added animosity, added division at a time where that kind of stuff does happen without proper planning.
Especially if there's a second marriage.
Yes.
Are you going to leave the house to the kids? Are you going to leave it to your surviving spouse?
It gets very in the weeds very easily if you let it.
Real quick, yeah. So, I mean, you need to let people know what's going on so they can make their plans as well.
Well, and as of someone that's kind of seen, in my family, other people and things like that, it really is a bad thing. It's nothing worse than when you're gone and you see your family, but your family falls apart because of poor planning on this kind of stuff. People didn't give a clear. I've seen it a couple times where families, they flat out hate each other now.
Yeah.
Because they a miscommunication or misunderstanding and at the end of the day, I think that's what it is. If someone just talked, even if you have the knockout dragged out over Christmas, at least everyone's, you know what I mean? Everyone's communicating and talking about it, and in good times, level heads can figure it out instead of trying to decide in bad times when usually that ends relationships or creates, or even worse.
Well, because people don't know, well, why did Dad do it that way?
Yeah.
You know, and
then everyone starts thinking it's like, it's because they can't do this, or I'm this, or, you know, and they start throwing their own idiosyncrasies in there. And,
well, and if one of the adult children, you know, has really young children, and, you know, the parents may provide more money for that child who has really young children versus a child whose kids are all, you know, off to college or working.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe, you know, question of perceived need as opposed to favoritism.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But at least talk about it and let people plan. If you're in a second marriage and you want the house to go to your kids because that's almost the only asset you have, well, you need to tell your second wife she needs to make plans.
Sure. Well, and then true, it's like that's where those conversations, like I said, if someone's leaving someone more money, maybe it's not even responsibility things. Maybe it's like, your dream has always been to build your own business. Well, here you go. That's the business money.
Oh, there you go.
Do something with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you always had a dream of this, therefore you get the car or whatever it is. That you know, that's where you have those conversations. They're trying to customize it to what, you know, that it could be a number of those things, but it's family. And so, but have the conversation now during the holidays while everyone's in theory together, and maybe do it on a night before the drinking.
That would be a good idea. Yes.
Yeah. Not on the night everyone's been toasting to everybody.
Early morning over coffee.
Yeah, that might be a good. Yeah, maybe do it over grapefruit and toast or something. And, it's kind of bleary-eyed there and getting things together.
Yeah.
But definitely something you need to think about here. And like I said, not only the financial side, but medical stuff. You know, that's what's the death and taxes. Those are the two guaranteed things in life here. And
that's right.
You got to have a plan for both.
We've got to have a plan. There's, you know, some people prefer to be cremated, some buried.
Mm-hmm.
That's often a fight among the family of, you know, well, what are we going to do? And well, Dad wanted this. Well, no, he changed his mind after. No, he didn't. And oh my God.
And I'm a fan if that's what you like doing is just doing all that yourself. I mean, we live in that world now. You can literally go down and plan your own funeral right down to the last detail.
Yeah.
And then literally just hand that plan to your kids and say, hey, when I die, that's what y'all doing. It's all set up. Go talk to the funeral home. They'll put the plan in place, and bada bing, bada boom. It's like, it's my funeral. I'm dying. That's how I want it. And I'm sure they're going to accept that.
in fact, for some people going to a nursing home and they're going to apply for Medicaid, you know, you're only allowed $2,000 cash.
Right.
So, but you're allowed to spend your money. You're just not allowed to transfer it. So buying a prepaid funeral plan is an allowed expense.
Yeah. So it's a great way because now it's insurance and in essence, you know, one less thing the family has to worry about when they got enough stuff to worry about.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know, they can
Absolutely.
focus on, you know, maybe the emotional side and the healing side as opposed to creating more of the animosity and more deep feelings over lack of planning.
Yeah, so leaving a, you know, written succession plan of, you know, these are the things that you need to think about when I'm gone. You don't close any bank accounts for at least a year. Go through the safe deposit box. Make sure the utilities are paid. You know, taxes are due November and May. You know, leave a succession plan. You know, when Jeff Bezos or you know, who's the Tesla guy? Elon Musk.
Yes.
Okay. Guess what? Tesla has a succession plan for when Elon croaks over.
I'm sure companies and insurance insisted on it.
Absolutely. They got a written plan.
Yeah,
what do we do next? You know, how do we find the next guy?
Yeah, like one guy's worth that much money, but it's like, I mean, you just can't walk away with it either.
Well, every Fortune 500 company, you know, we have a succession plan for, you know, what happens if.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay for you to treat your family like business and have that kind of written plan.
Yep, absolutely. So please do that. And again, that's the kind of stuff that makes it so much better when these inevitable times happen, because I've seen it too many times. I mean, shoot, the whole Hollywood industry has a whole, you know, they wouldn't have any television shows or movies to talk about if we didn't have these kinds of family squabbles over these kinds of things.
And I know we all think it's a long way off, but
until it isn't.
Until we get surprised.
And life can end at any moment. That's the thing in life. You can walk out tomorrow and get hit by a bus. That's the thing, but that literally can happen. One day there's not going to be buses, and we can. No, you're not. But until that happens, one day you walk out and get hit by a bus.
Because all the buses will be EVs, we won't hear them coming.
Yeah, or we'll just have that Star Trek beam up thing, and we literally just go from over there and beam over to over there.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, or even like the Harry Potter flu things where you go up the chimney and disappear somewhere. That'd be nice too. I don't know what happens in between, but same kind of concept.
Yep.
But till then, it's the official walk out the bus. Your life is, it could end at any given moment. If you died tomorrow or if you died next hour, would your family be, able to move on without relative, emotionally, sure. I mean, but financially or whatever, they're going to be fine tomorrow if you left this earth. And if you can't say yes, then maybe you need to start doing some planning and thinking about it.
Yeah, and I would definitely look at Social Security and do some research on that about survivors' benefits. Or do you wait to take those because you might get more money? I'd kind of look at that situation. Had a husband and wife come in, and wife was a little older, and husband was going to take his Social Security at full retirement age. And but he had other assets, and so I said, "Well, have you thought about delaying Social Security till you're 70 because you get 8% a year for each year you delay?" And he says, "Well, no, I've got plenty of other money, and so there's no reason to wait." And I said, "Yeah, but
right until there isn't.
But if you die first and you've waited till 70, your wife's going to get a huge bump up by getting your Social Security check."
So in essence, you're really planning for her life after you're gone.
What if?
Yeah.
Even though she's older, what if?
And if you don't need
first?
that money now, then why not put it away for that?
Yeah, and even if she passes first, and her check disappears when she dies, at least his Social Security check will be larger, and so it's little things like that.
Sure, but especially when you're getting to that point of life where you really are in a fixed income, where you're living off the money here and not having so much incoming each month, and that's you got to plan those kinds of things. So it's again, this is that we need and Matt and I we have this conversation every year around this time just because it just makes sense, because 9 times out of 10 this is the busiest time of year or best time of year for family getting together, being together.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, hopefully families get together and somewhat good mood, but you do need to talk about business.
Sure. And I'm going to guess this is going to spawn other questions too, like if you don't have a will yet, maybe you should get one of those and all that. But and that's when you talk to a guy like Matt, and I know we live in a world where there's a do-it-yourself thing for everything, and I get all that, but when it comes
you get what you pay for.
Exactly. I'm all for do-it-yourself if it's for something simple. But when it comes to planning something that, in essence, is going to dictate what happens after you're gone, that's kind of a big deal. And I don't think I'd just trust that to something that you can fill out in an hour. And you need to talk to an attorney because for one thing, every state in the union has different laws and rules governing what can and what is admissible in a will, what you can present in a will, how you present the will, and everything else. And if you don't know that information, you may have just done all that work and it didn't protect or anything else. And it applies like, by the way, you can't just simply just take a video on your phone and call that good. None of that is going to be admissible. You just wasted the data it costs to make that video.
and laws built around words.
Yeah.
Words are important, and words have certain meanings in the legal in the legal realm. And what you may think a word means may not be what the judges thinks it means.
Yeah, and so that's why a will is a bigger deal than you think it is.
Yep.
It's not just something you should just knock out in an hour on a website.
Yep.
You need to sit down with an attorney. I highly recommend Matt, but please, someone that's qualified to do these things.
If you already got a family attorney, great.
Yes,
go talk to them.
But talk to the legal professional and have that done. That way, because what you think you have is may or may not be what you actually have, unless you had that actual legal expert go through it and say, yes, that's exactly what you're giving or what you're not giving.
Yeah, so if you've got a CPA or maybe a business attorney, ask them who they recommend and go talk to someone and save what could be a bunch of money. When people come in, we spend most of the time, instead of talking about the will, because that's actually fairly simple, We talk about, well, how do you avoid probate for the kids? How do you make it easy for your spouse?
Right.
No one wants to probate a will if they don't have to. How do we do it? Fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really the majority of our conversation is keeping out of probate.
Yeah. Basically, it's creating this plan that we were just talking about that you're supposed to have with your family. It's you now sitting down with your attorney, your person saying, I want my plan of attack for what happens when I leave. And so, in essence, by creating a will, that's the process. The will's a step in that process, if that makes sense, and getting that all done. Because, like you said, that way, who pays what bills, and not all people you owe money to are created equal when you die.
Well, that's right. And there's some pretty interesting quirks about things.
And so there are people you need and should pay after you die, and other people
not so much.
Sorry. You lose, I died.
But knowing the difference, that's why you talk to the attorney.
Exactly. And I don't know about you, but when I die, I don't want to give any of my money to someone I don't have to. I want to make sure every dime of it goes where I wanted it to go.
Exactly.
And so that's why having these conversations, even though I know it's not sexy, it's not fun, it could be just butt awkward. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I would rather have this done and everybody on the same page. Make some jokes, especially if you're younger. You're like, we ain't seeing death for 40 years or whatever. You make the jokes long. I know it's going to be a long time. But, have that fun, but have that communication, have that understanding.
Right.
Because I know we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to think about it, but it's going to happen. Guaranteed, you are going to leave this earth. And is there a plan or is not a plan? You got to, and that's what you got to figure out.
And young couples with young kids tend to think, well, I don't own anything. I don't need a will.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be true. But when we have small children, you use the will to name a testamentary guardian for those children.
As soon as you have you've brought life into this world, you
need a will.
Because it's not about you anymore.
You need to name a guardian for those children.
That's
Something you told somebody to do it for you. It's like that. I love those TV commercials. You can have the car when I'm gone. Man, not binding.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
I love those. Those are so on.
Yeah. Yes, you can have the car, but not just tell him in the garage there. We gotta do something different about it.
Got to be in writing.
Yeah, this is and here's the thing too. And that's the other question, that you don't have to do that with all your assets. You can or not, or can. Sometimes that's the thing of the wills. You may, because I don't know about y'all, but I remember as a kid, it was like the reading of the will, and it was always estates, and they're sitting in a room in front of usually a mahogany desk, and I leave my coin collection to young Lionel, and it's like, it's not really like that,
Not really, no.
But I think a lot of us still think it's like that. You know what I mean? And certain assets, yeah. If you've got the vintage car that's the rare one of a kind thing, yeah, you might want to put that in the will. But if you're driving the Ford Pinto that everyone else got, I don't bequeath your Pinto to. No one's going to want that thing. Just it's part of the estate. They put it in the assets and sell it all.
Yeah. So when you name a guardian for the children, of course, you want to name someone who's good at child rearing, but you may name a different person to handle the kids' money until they become of age. Because, again, those are two different skill sets. And remember, those kids are going to be getting a Social Security check if you and your spouse are gone.
Right.
And you don't want the deadbeat drunk brother-in-law trying to get guardianship of the kids in order to get that beer money.
Yep. And unfortunately, there's a lot of these kind of, this is where the family stuff gets ugly, is someone tries to take advantage of this or something. And again, a lot of this can at least be mitigated by having the conversation that we just started this show saying you need to have.
Yep.
This is what, so please, I just saw a time, we're running a little quick, short on time here, but if you take nothing else from this conversation we had today, is have that plan of attack, have that. If you don't have one, let's start doing that.
Yep.
And then once you have one, let's sit down with the family and share it with everybody and get everybody on the same page on how to do that. So.
Yep. Talk to your spouse, get a plan, sit down with the kids, discuss the plan, get a safe deposit box.
And please understand, no two families are the same. Just because you talk to your buddy and they said, and yeah, they did it, that may not be the best situation for you. And that's why sitting down with a guy like Matt is because you know, the law is black and white, but how it applies to you is very gray and very different.
Yeah, just because, you know, your buddy next door neighbor has a trust doesn't mean you need one,
Exactly.
and most people don't.
Yeah, and so that's really where you have to have that conversation. So,
yep.
We do have some time for some fact or fiction here.
Oh, so two little ones.
Okay.
So in the old Greek world, if somebody in the village or in the town was just a real pain in the you know what, you could actually vote them out of the village.
All right.
And so what they would do is the voting would happen on.
By the way, I'm not opposed to what you're saying so far. Keep talking.
Yeah, if only we could do it in Washington.
Right. I'm listening.
So when they had the vote, there's no real paper to write on, so they had to write on pottery shards.
Okay.
Broken pieces of pottery, and they'd write, you know, kick them out or leave them in or whatever. And so the Greek word for the broken pottery shards was ostrakon.
Okay.
Where we get the word ostracize.
Ostrich. Okay. I was trying to think. All right, where's the so very cool. I was kind of thinking on the pottery thing. I was like, all right, what's the potter? I was like, chits. What do we do? Yeah, I was trying to think of something like that. Some kind of.
Yeah, when you kick them out there, you're ostracized.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it comes from the word for broken pottery shards.
Nothing to do with the bird.
Nope.
Interesting.
And then, so there's a Greek word and begins with SYN. And
Okay.
so the Greek prefix SYN means with.
Okay.
Like synchrony, synchronize.
Synonymous.
Yeah. So the word is synkinecy. So you got the prefix SYN with. The kinesis is where you get the word kinetic.
Okay.
As in kinetic energy.
Gotcha.
There's motion.
Movement. Yeah.
Right. And so the Romans just took the exact same stuff and they just Latinized it, and it becomes the word emotion.
Ah, interesting.
And they kept that sense of motion
Fluidity.
in the word. That there's, that's such a good movie. I felt so moved.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting if you think about it that way, that there's supposed to be movement going on. Anyway, I
think it is. It's neat. Because we think about it and we don't think of the connection until someone did think of the connection, and there is the connection. We just years later like, oh, there is the connection.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool.
That is neat. So now, if you were listening and saying, you know what, I have none of these things these guys were talking about, maybe it's time to give Matt here a call and let's start talking about some of these things.
Yeah. Let's get organized.
Yes.
So that's 625-5284.
Yeah.
BristolLawOffice.net.
Yeah. Set up an appointment. He'll sit down and talk with you. And don't forget, and he handles, other family law, other things.
Yeah.
So if you've got other things on family planning you need to take care of, and if you have questions, anything legal, set up that meeting. Matt will sit down and talk to you, and maybe the conversation says, you know what, you don't really need me. You need to go down to the clerk's office, fill out these forms, and you're good to go. Or it may be, no, you need to, no, I'm glad you came. We need to sit down and hash this out.
And not a client of the day that says, I need this, and this is the dollar amount of my estate. And I said, wow, nope, I cannot do that. I will screw that up big time.
Gotcha.
So I need to send you to someone who knows what they're doing.
Sure.
So if I can't do it, then I'll send you to someone
Then you'll triage
who can.
it to the person that can handle the.
Oh, yeah.
Your and that's.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that's make a call, make an appointment to talk to Matt, and trust me. If you think you don't need it and be wrong, it's the consequences could be way more devastating. Just
on your survivors.
Just talk to Matt. Let Matt tell you no, you don't need that, and then you can have the peace of mind of not only thinking you're right but actually being right.
Yes, that's right. It's good to be informed, to make informed decisions.
Absolutely, because when it comes to your money, you don't want to, and your family, and you don't want to get that.
Just don't want to roll the dice. No.
Well, as always, Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Safe travels as you go pheasant hunting here this week.
Safe travels on your Christmas.
And Merry Christmas as well.
Yeah.
As, I guess we'll see you in 2025 here.
Next year, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
And then we'll be talking about taxes or something next time. So.
Well, maybe we'll have tax reform. You never know.
That's right. All right, new president. Who knows what's on the table.
I'll write that down. Maybe taxes.
There you go. Excellent. Well, Matt, as always, thank you, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
All right, 7:57, quick break before news. Don't go away.
It's huge. It's colossal. It's Roswell Ford's biggest automotive clearance event of the year at our temporary location next to Allsup's on West 2nd and Sycamore Streets. Enter the front of the tents off West 2nd Street next to Allsup's for huge savings from now till the end of the month. The all-new Roswell Ford received massive shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles without flood damage. To move them out, we've marked them down, way down. Plus, get $1,500 flood assistance cash in hand when you buy any new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle. Worried about your trade or credit? Don't sweat it. We've instructed our staff to take any trade, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it. So you can upgrade to a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit with great terms, even if it's less than perfect. Everyone knows when the tents go up, prices come down. At Roswell Ford's temporary location next to Allsup's on West 2nd Street and Sycamore Streets. Or visit RoswellFord.com.
This holiday season, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you stay healthy and enjoy the moments that matter most. Whether it's a routine visit or something unexpected, our caring team is here for you every step of the way, because nothing should keep you from celebrating with the ones you love. Visit artesiageneral.com to see how we can support your health and happiness. From all of us at Artesia General Hospital, happy holidays.
Registration for the spring semester is on now at ENMU Roswell. A great career in healthcare, arts and sciences, or technical trades is waiting for you. Now's the time to skill up and get certified. Register today for spring 2025 classes and talk with an advisor. Log on to roswell.enmu.edu. ENMU Roswell, success starts here.
Success starts here. ENMU Roswell.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to replay our interview with Scott from the SBDC. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The world is watching and waiting now that longtime Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad has been overthrown. Israel struck suspected chemical weapon site as well as long-range rockets inside Syria. The Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sar says the goal is to keep the weapons from falling into the wrong hands.
The only interest we have is the security of Israel and its citizens.
U.S. airstrikes have pounded ISIS camps and operatives in central Syria as Syrian exiles flood back into their homeland. The BBC's Lena Sinjab.
We were among the first people to go into Syria. We were surrounded by many Syrians in Lebanon who wanted to cross, celebrating at the border. We went through straight to central Damascus to the Umayyad Square. We've seen lots of rebel fighters on the way, and when we arrived in central Damascus, lots of gunfire in celebration. Many people are out and about with the rebels.
President Biden calls the fall of Assad a fundamental act of justice.
We will engage with all Syrian groups, including within the process led by the United Nations, to establish a transition away from the Assad regime.
President-elect Trump is counseling caution. In his words, this is not our fight. The hunt for the gunman who killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City goes on. The reward fund now up to $60,000. Jury deliberations continue today in the Daniel Penny New York subway chokehold case. Jurors now weighing a lesser charge of criminally negligent homicide after the judge dismissed a charge of second-degree manslaughter. On Wall Street this morning, stocks narrowly mixed. The Dow trading about 4 points higher, while the Nasdaq is down 3 points and the S&P 7 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Around 110 people reportedly killed in Haiti over the weekend after the leader of a criminal gang blamed them for the death of his child through witchcraft.
The National Human Rights Defense Network said the incident happened in Cité Soleil slum and all the victims were over the age of 60. Several younger men were also killed as they tried to protect their relatives by hiding them. Local media said the gang leader known as Mikano ordered his men to kidnap certain slum residents. They were then attacked by gang members with machetes and guns. Some of them were reportedly burned alive and buried in a pit. Gang violence has killed thousands across Haiti over the past 2 years, but has worsened in the last month.
The BBC's Lifika Pelham. 2 Turkish military helicopters have collided in midair, causing one of them to crash. The crash in southwestern part of the country left 5 military personnel dead. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Mets have landed the most expensive player in Major League history.
A person familiar with the deal tells the Associated Press that outfielder Juan Soto has accepted a 15-year contract from the Mets worth a record $765 million. The package is believed to have eclipsed those in all other team sports. The source says Soto's deal includes no deferred money. The 26-year-old Soto batted .288 with 41 home runs, 109 RBIs, and 129 walks for the Yankees last season, his only year with the team. The 4-time All-Star is a lifetime .285 batter with 201 home runs, 592 ribbies, and 769 walks over 7 big league seasons. I'm Dave Ferry.
A series of moderate to strong earthquakes that have struck Alaska's western Aleutian Islands and offshore areas comprise what scientists call a swarm, and there have been no immediate reports of any serious damage or injuries. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome. It's Monday to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Good morning with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to it. But it is like the Monday before the Monday before the Monday, holiday Monday. So you all got a little festivitis in us.
Yeah.
A little excitement of whatever plans we have on the horizon here for Christmas. But also that overwhelming feeling of I got 100 things to do before I get here. We're right in that spot right now.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is definitely, the countdown is on, as they say. But I feel like I may be a bit more ahead of the gun than last year.
Yeah.
Like, I think we have a bit of a plan in place, and I still haven't dug out my tree yet. I'm not sure if it even exists. The last time I used my tree, I made the example that the Charlie Brown Christmas tree would be an upgrade. It's very sparse, so without a lot of extra garlands and whatnot, it's going to be pretty sparse.
Now for Christmas, are they doing anything at your house? Or are you all going over to the grandma's house?
No,
or
I'm probably going to be
Christmas plan.
I'm probably going to be spending Christmas with most likely with my Misty and their family.
Okay.
The kids are going to be at mom's.
But I guess because of the kids, you have to decorate at the house.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because other than that, why do you even really need to decorate?
Exactly.
It's just you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put a wreath on the door. But.
Yeah, because that's like Kim and I. We don't. To be honest, it's just stuff the cats get into.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, Kim puts our stockings and the thing and some garland around the mantle, and we're calling it Christmas.
Yeah. But no, I think we've come to the determination. I'm just going to bring all the gifts I have for them to Grandma's house, and we'll do a Christmas there.
Yeah, big pile on of gifts, everything one spot there. Yeah, that's how it usually goes down. So I was just curious.
It's disappointing for the kids because the concept of two Christmases.
Yeah, I did like that where I would be on Christmas. We'd have our Christmas, and then we'd go to one of the grandparents later, and Christmas too.
Yeah, Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
Turbo would be over in the corner.
And then it was always weird because usually that was grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Rarely was it toys.
No, it was always socks and underwear,
sweater or something.
Yeah, maybe actually what was cool was growing up with going to granddad, or getting granddad's gifts. So my grandpa and my step grandma, whose name was Duffy, she would give the very practical, the nice wallet or something like that. But my granddad,
savings bonds,
a couple of savings bonds. Yeah, I think I still have $50 or $75 in savings bonds.
Hey, they might
somewhere.
be fully matured by now. If you haven't cashed them out.
I mean, I'm not.
I'm just saying, $50. Cash them in. That's if you need $50,
right?
Find one.
Never know. But my grandpa would always get me Swiss Army knife or something kind of cool boy gift.
Every boy loves those things.
Yeah.
There's some firecrackers,
the stuff
kid.
that my mom would get mad about. I think I got a hatchet one year.
Right. Here, go have fun. Here's a BB gun, son.
Oh, my dad. No, my dad.
I love that uncle.
My dad was so excited to get me my first BB gun. He was very excited. He's like, "We're gonna go to the store. We're gonna make sure it's a Daisy.
Cool.
It's gonna, we're gonna get all the stuff that you need. We're gonna get you a big thing of BBs, and we're gonna go out shooting." I'm like, "Heck yeah!"
Yeah.
And we went twice.
No, my dad gave me his BB gun.
Okay.
First, and I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was a piece of junk. It was nice, and it looked like the Red Ryder BB gun. It was that Daisy, that it had the lever
pump
action just like the.
Right.
But this thing, it had these guts, and so you just clicked it once, and it had the guts in the middle, and that's what it was, and it came all out. And it was. But that gun was so old that if you lean the gun forward, the BB just.
Oh, that's. Oh.
So I had that gun for a minute, and then finally I convinced my mom and dad to allow me to get a new BB gun.
Okay.
And it looked like an M16.
Oh, snap.
And I had it up.
I'm going with the assault BB gun.
I had it up until I sold it at a yard sale at 8-10 years ago. I think I sold it to some other dude. And that BB gun, I ain't gonna lie, pretty awesome. It shot BBs or pellets. It had all these storage areas. You could pump it 10 times.
Yeah, that's the thing. You always knew you were in trouble when they'd sit there and they'd be pumping it 16. You're like, oh, you're taking out a moose.
And oh man, and then we'd run off in the woods and have fun. Remember the BB gun fights and all? That was with that gun, not the one that the BB rolled out the front, because I would have been lit up every time.
I never had a designer BB gun. I always had the rifle. Guns now, play guns nowadays, the guns that the kids get to mess with, are so freaking cool.
Yeah,
the ones that shoot those. They're what are those things called? the silicone thing.
Oh
balls.
yeah, like the plastic bullet or
Yeah,
rubber. I know what
they're
you're talking about.
They're basically like tapioca.
Airsoft? Is that what they're called?
Airsoft?
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that what they're called? The official company
But the
makes
ones that come, they're like little balls, and you put them in water, and they swell up. Those, the ones that shoot those.
Yeah, that probably hurts.
I would imagine it doesn't feel great.
Paintballing. I mean, we had paintballing when I was a kid.
Right.
I mean, that was more young adult, but as a kid, we didn't have none of that.
The ones you see on like Temu and stuff like that, those are, I mean, they're like insane.
Yeah. And I always loved, too, the other one, which I think you still have them, is the slingshot with the arm bar.
Yes.
Like you could.
My dad.
You could knock some things out with that bad boy.
So my dad,
you know how to shoot.
When I was a kid, my dad was going to college, and he was he was access to the chemistry lab. So he actually made me a slingshot out of like the silicone stuff that he had. He made me one of those, and then we went and got a Marksman, which is the one with the armband, and it was at that moment of my childhood that I realized kid weapons are kind of intense. Like you could do severe. It went from you might be able to break skin with a BB to you could take out several car windows with one ball bearing.
And here's the thing too. Like, like even to this day, lawn darts. And everyone talks about, and I'm like, in the scope, the lawn dart was the least of our problems.
Yeah.
I mean, we were, and like, I remember as a kid, I used to go down to the Army, and I'm talking, I don't look like a man. I'm talking, I look like a 10-year-old boy. And I'd walk down to the Army Navy store and buy Chinese stars.
Yep.
Ninja stars.
I get a sad moment of nostalgia every time I drive by that Army surplus store over there on 2nd Street. I'm just like, remember when?
I feel like none of that happens today, right?
No,
no kid can walk in and do what we did, right?
I wouldn't think
no
child.
Way.
Well, first of all, you don't just see kids free walking around
this is
town.
True too.
Like yesterday, this is kind of funny. Yesterday we went to I know you got to get to the thing. We went to a park, and there was just a baby over on one side of the park.
Yeah.
Misty was sitting on one side of the seesaw. I was on the other, and she goes, "Whose baby is that?"
Just sitting there.
I'm like, if you really want to find out, go over and pick it up.
Right?
Whose baby is this? Anybody? It was a guy who was standing next to us. He was watching her, but he wasn't helicopter parenting, but he was doing a great job. But it was just for a quick moment. We're like,
right?
Whose baby is that?
Just walks by. Cool, I found a baby.
Dude, they're just giving him away over here.
He puts it in a knapsack. Walks over.
Thanks. But yeah, no. So you just don't see kids out.
You're
free
right.
walking the streets these days.
But yeah, you're right. But I can't imagine. Like, we used to buy the smoke bombs and Chinese stars and switchblade knives, which I'm like, how did we get these things? Like,
of course, any kid worth their salt doesn't need to go to the Army surplus store. They just hop on Temu and they'll just order it for themselves.
This is back for the Temus. But shoot, I don't know. More 10-year-olds I knew had butterfly knives.
Yeah. No, it's true. My nephew, when I went to Oklahoma for Thanksgiving, showed me his butterfly knife. I'm like, how did you get this?
Right. This is happy.
It's like my dad got it for me. I'm like,
but I'm pretty sure the Chinese stars were like, they shouldn't be selling us these because I've been throwing them at trees all the and possibly people.
Right.
I know I've thrown one at a kid or two.
I mean, I know they're
just so dull. That
I know they sell them dull. Okay, but we can sharpen them.
Right. I mean,
we have the technology.
We were kids. We're a little bit bunch of garbage MacGyvers out there at that time. So. But anyway, good times.
God, good times.
Merry Christmas.
But yeah, that's the beauty of being a grown-up with access to, like some semblance of expendable money is now that Temu's around, it's basically the old Army Navy surplus store of yesteryear. You can go on there and buy pretty much anything.
Yeah. I like the old day of the Army Navy store. I love going through there. And
the smell of it all.
Especially because they literally had if you wanted dirty T-shirts, they had those. Some of my first generation of dirty T-shirts came from the Army Navy store.
By the way, I'm just throwing this out there. I buy MREs. All right, they're next to impossible to find in this region. But if you have them access to them and you want to sell one, I buy MREs.
And I will not buy. I was in the military. I'm good. I don't need that scratch that itch. I've had them.
It's just it's a fun open.
Yeah.
For me in my civvy clothes, I'm never gonna get to know.
Yeah, I just those meals are associated with too many other things for me to take that.
And when I have an MRE, I want to cuddle up under a wubby and take myself a dang nap in a foxhole somewhere. Heck yeah.
I just evoke certain
I just want
memories.
to cosplay.
Yeah. Just evoke certain memories.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you have associations with it.
Mm-hmm.
That jalapeno cheese hits different for you.
Yeah, a lot of different. Good times. Good times. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Then we're going to play our interview we had on Friday with Scott Booker from the Small Business Development Center here for Roswell and Ruidoso. And coming up here on December 18th, next Wednesday, they're having their SENM BDC. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna actually do Southeast New Mexico Business Development Conference. I was gonna do some more acronyms for you, but I changed my mind. It was funny in my head.
SENMBDCASAP.
At ENMU Roswell. Hosted also in part by the RCC, EDC, RCC, and
Holy moly!
WESSTNNMBA. All right, after
Did I hear a niner in there?
After all that confusion, no. But they are having their big small business development conference here on December 18th at the ENMUR campus there. So we're going to play the interview we had with Scott talking all about that.
Very good.
Plus we'll have news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by tomorrow. Cold front headed in from the central Rockies. For now, we'll stay sunny and mild. Afternoon high will be in the upper 60s. We'll have some clouds for the overnight hours, low to mid 30s, and then maybe a few snow flurries early on Tuesday. Cloudy and a lot cooler in the afternoon. We should see some sunshine by late in the day, though. Mid 40s on the high. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, oops, I didn't scroll up too far. 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today and a high of 69 degrees. So warm today. Nice. Pushing 70. Enjoy it. Tomorrow will be different. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, expect increasing clouds with an overnight low of 33 degrees. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing. High of only 47 expected tomorrow. So we're going to see about a 20-degree drop in temps there. North winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight or tomorrow night with an overnight low of 24, so cooler as well. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny skies back into the mid-50s, 56 expected there. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny, 60 for a high there. Friday, back up into the mid-60s, 66 there. And then for the weekend, sunny and 63 for Saturday, sunny 63 on Sunday as well. All right, it is 20 minutes after 8. We're going to take actually, I got a big break, about a 5-minute break here. And then on the other side, we're going to play our interview with, also we'll have our first 12 days of Christmas, our Mannheim Steamroller 12 days as well. That's where we got talking about that. I was like, man, I can't believe we're already 12 days out, including weekends. So we'll play that. Then we're going to play our interview with Scott from the SBDC on the other side. Don't go away.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
This holiday season, make your Christmas magical with Honey Depot, your one-stop shop for all things festive. Deck the halls with our charming Christmas decorations that will make your home sparkle. Spice up the Christmas meal with our baking goods and cookware. Keep warm with the best selection of clothing and pajamas. Our children's toys will illuminate young minds and bring endless joy, along with hilarious stocking stuffers that will have everyone laughing. Visit Honey Depot today and make Christmas the most magical one yet. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 5:30, and Sunday from 1 to 6 at 104 West Hermosa Drive in Artesia. Merry Christmas from all of us to all of you.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra and the Way Off Broadway Theater Company present a classic Christmas story, Menottes, Amal, and the Night Visitors. Sunday, December 22nd, 2:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Witness the story of one young boy's encounter with three very wise kings on their way to one very important birthday party. Get your tickets now online at roswellsymphony.org or at the door. Menottes, Amal, and the Night Visitors. Sunday, December 22nd, 2:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Thursday from 9 till noon at the grand opening of the all-new Schlotzsky's in Artesia. The home of the funny name and the serious sandwich has finally arrived in Bulldog Country, and we'll be on hand for the ribbon cutting, and you can enjoy a small original sandwich for just $2.99 all day. Plus, the first 150 customers will receive a surprise coupon and purchase any meal for your chance to win a PlayStation 5. See you Thursday from 9 till noon at the grand opening of Schlotzsky's at 905 West Main in Artesia.
And now here's Chip Davis, founder and musical director of Mannheim Steamroller, with today's Christmas Countdown.
Today, it's the truth about Santa, whose story surprisingly begins with the Greek god Poseidon. The ancient Greeks believed that Poseidon provided everything good, and a good harvest, a good life. It all came from Poseidon. Some 2,000 years later, in 25 AD, a Christian church was built on the ruins of an old Poseidon temple. It was home to a kind and benevolent bishop who wore bright red and green robes. His name was Nicholas. And like Poseidon, he also gave gifts, but only to good little children each Christmas. Tomorrow, how Nicholas became our modern Santa Claus. And I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
This holiday, focus on what truly matters and let Incogni protect your online privacy. Give the gift of security and peace of mind. Incogni.com.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Scott Booker back with us with the Small Business Development Center here in Roswell. Good morning. How you doing today?
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. And of course, for folks not familiar, you call home the campus of ENMUR. You got your office down there.
Yep.
And but by no means is it isolated to college work. If you're if you're interested in being a small business owner or are a small business owner looking for resources, you should probably have the SBDC kind of, I would say on your Rolodex. What's that? Your sound is off. My sound is off? That's weird. Are we dead? I'm about to say, I'm hearing me. You scare me, Roy. Sorry about that. But really, if you're looking for, anything small business, whether it's, trying to grow your business, start a business, need help because you had some issues with the flood beer business, the SBDC is really a great resource for you you should already know it if you don't.
It really is. It is. But it's not, it hasn't really taken off and become real commonplace. A lot of folks aren't familiar because we're hosted by higher education.
Sure.
We are a government program, partner with the SBA, the International Business Accelerator, the New Mexico Apex accelerators, the New Mexico Technology accelerators. To help small businesses develop and grow.
Well, and that kind of gives you the best of both worlds, where you're tapped in with government and the resources and all that, but because it's through education and a little more private sector, I imagine it frees you up to be a little faster than government work.
Much faster, much faster. Yeah. Right now, we're running about 24 to 48 hours, so if somebody is seeking assistance or wanting help with their business plan, their operating plan, management plan, marketing plan, operating plan, financial management, systems development, process improvement. We're about 24 hours to 48 away from being able to meet with them. So we're it's relatively close if you call to schedule or you schedule or you request online. We're back to you within 24 to 48 hours to get it on the calendar and start making things happen.
So I imagine some people taking notes, listen to that, might want to talk to Scott here a little bit if you haven't talked to him already. But that being said, the main reason Scott's joining us here today is coming up here on December 18th is the Southeast New Mexico Business Development Conference. It's going to be here on the campus of ENMUR, and this is an opportunity for pretty much anybody that's small business oriented, that looking for resources, information, the how-tos, the how do you plug in and get connected, that you might want to sign up and be a part of this event here on the 18th.
Well, we're excited, Mike. This is our first annual ever Southeast New Mexico Business Development Conference.
First of many, hopefully.
Hopefully. And we will not wait till December of next year to launch the second one.
Okay.
So we're going to build off of the success and keep people moving in the right direction. This is going to be a phenomenal event.
Good deal.
We have morning sessions, keynote speakers covering some big topics, big concepts of growth and development. Really turning the page on this past year and opening up the doors to great success in 2025.
And I imagine because a lot of it you're talking to local people stuff, it's out forecast and stuff, sure, on the national or the international level, but locally here as well too. I mean, you look at some of the local business opportunities that are really going to be dropping in the lap of Roswell here over the next year. I mean, just Reno Air Race stuff alone, that's creating a whole industry and potential new business model for many businesses here.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you can learn more about this and many other of this aspect, not only globally, but locally, these business opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's going to be an action-packed day. We're not only going to talk about, what's coming to Roswell in September, what the air races and so forth, and the opportunities, but really go big, international, importing, exporting, cybersecurity, how to protect your intellectual property rights. And
everybody
patents.
can be a local business with one of these right now, with a smartphone.
All you need is a phone and an internet connection, maybe a computer, and you can be in business. And as long as you got those three things, you can do business all over the world.
Absolutely, yeah. And your backyard got really big. But this is the stuff that this event's all about. It's maybe you don't even realize your potential market yet, and this could show you that.
Right.
That's what it's to learn, opportunities to learn, and I'm going to even offer. I don't care how experienced you are in the business world, whether you've been running a business for 30 years or you're new to this. I'm going to take a stab, and there's going to be a lot of information that you'll be equally useful for either person.
Yeah.
And the reason I mention this is because experience is valuable. In 30 years of doing something, you know what? You're probably the best at doing what that is. However, sometimes there's technologies happen. Sometimes there's and sometimes there's a easier way or a better way to do that. And sometimes when you do the same thing every time, you're a little, nose blind to some of that sometimes.
Right.
And so this opportunity could kind of say, hey, you know what? You've been breaking your back doing it that way. Maybe we can offer a way that cuts that time in half or cuts the cost of that in half.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this event's about too. So
Absolutely. We have 12 breakout sessions in the afternoon. Listen to this curriculum. We've got business technology interface, cybersecurity best practices. Are you lender ready? SBA is going to be doing a great session on are you lender ready and preparation and being ready to get a 7A or a 504.
Yeah, when you have
loan.
your ducks in a row, and it's so much easier than when you gotta you do, and that is a big deal. It's the thing from making a thing a headache to something like that was actually pretty smooth. And it's all about having your paperwork ready, ducks in a row, and knowing the tendencies of what they're looking for. When you do that, it's
we ask.
Yeah.
We ask what people are looking for, really. And if you look at if you go on the website and you look at the curriculum of what we're doing that day. You're going to see what people have been asking for. Businesses that are already up and running and growing and building, what they're looking for, as well as in entrepreneurial startups and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
One of the big challenges, a lot of folks here in the state of New Mexico, a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs are not yet government contract certified. We're doing a whole class on government contract 101 to become able to bid on and win.
And the world could be your
contracts.
oyster if you do that right. And next thing you know, your job security, your workload is going to be pretty steady for a while.
That's right. And there are some pretty large contracts. Interestingly, it's the government is the largest employer in the state of New Mexico, state and county and federal government.
Oh, it's probably the biggest landowner too, so that makes sense.
And there are a lot of contracts available that we tend to, I'm sure, get bids on out-of-state providers because we don't have the providers here that have gone through the process.
Absolutely. This is something, and we could talk philosophically about the state of New Mexico all day, but people, New Mexico is this, I feel like if it's handled right, it's a sleeping giant. Like, we're not like certain other states that are considered poor or last in all these numbers, whereas we may share some of those numbers, but as terms of potential resources and potential, like, we're not a poor state by any. We may be low in these numbers, but as far as money, we got plenty of money. It's just what we do with it, how we do with it, and that's where this is the type of opportunity, this business growth stuff. This is where New Mexico has the potential where it could be the cut. I mean, from anything. We got Los Alamos, which is the most cutting edge stuff on the planet, to the most ancient stuff on the planet, all within 100 miles of each other.
Right.
We have the resources. We have the things, the tools we need to make this state an amazing place for business and growth. We got a great recipe. We just need the right set of people leading it and creating the right opportunities for that to foster and grow.
That's right. We are right now at the right time in the right place with the right opportunities, with the right support systems in place to do something really special, not just for the state of New Mexico, but really on a big scale. On a big scale, a lot of folks are at that threshold and wanting to expand and develop markets all over because they're discovering there's a huge market for what they do, the solutions that they provide.
Absolutely.
And tapping those markets and excelling in those markets. That's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. So spend the day, December 18th. It'll all be happening here on the campus of ENMUR, there in the ITC Center, the Instructional Training Center, there in the lobby. And it'll pretty much be there a good hunk of the day. What signups cost? How do you get registered and do all that good stuff?
Well, that's probably one of the better things about it. This is a no-cost event.
Okay. Free is a good bad business model, but good for you to learn stuff.
You need to but everybody that's attending does
Yeah.
need to register in
Okay.
advance. And so you register by going to our website, and that is nmsbdc.org. And on the website, just click on workshops and navigate down to the Southeast New Mexico Business Development Conference. Click it, and you'll get the whole overview and the sign up button, and you can register and sign up. You don't have to be a business to attend.
Yeah. If you want, this is for everyone. If you a business owner, if you're thinking about starting a business and maybe just want more information, or maybe it's a dream, maybe it's the fantasy. You're like, I've always wanted my own business, but I haven't the first clue how to start that. Well,
Good opportunity to prepare.
Yeah, start by coming to this thing on the 18th. You may have an idea in your head. How do you make it into a practical working business model? Let's start the process for that.
Excellent. Yes.
And like I said, come, and like I said, it's free, but please sign up. If you can also look for
you have to register to attend, and we do have a limited number of seats available. I was on there looking yesterday. I have 38 seats left.
So it's going quick.
It's going quickly.
So please, you might want to not wait till next week to do this. Maybe get on it today or this weekend. Get signed up. It is first come, first serve. It is
Do it
free.
today.
And come on out. Now let me ask this. On the other side, sponsorship opportunities. Any businesses want to get involved sponsoring? Is there still windows for that, or we pass that point?
We're already loaded on the sponsors.
Okay.
We have great sponsorship representation here at the event. 10 good sponsors. If you want me to give you the...
Please, yeah, sure.
Absolutely. We're working with Workforce Connections and the New Mexico International Business Accelerator, Roswell Economic Development, West, Roswell Chamber, the Hispano Chamber, which has been phenomenal in helping us get going with this. And
Matter of fact, I think they're involved in some of the marketing side.
Plug in.
We have ads that we were producing them. I think they were through the Hispano for this event. So,
well, we're excited. Yeah. We're excited.
Please, first come, first serve. But sign up for this opportunity. If you, and you know what? If you're like a 16-year-old kid that's like thinking about business and all that stuff, come
with your parents.
Yes, come and learn this stuff, and because you could be the next Zuckerberg or whomever, Bezos for all we know, sitting there. That's they started somewhere.
Yeah, and if you want to learn how to convert that idea into cash flow, this is the event to be at.
Absolutely. So again, it's going to be on December the 18th. It's going to be there at NMUR's Instructional Training Center. It's going to be all day on that Wednesday, December the 18th. The registration, all that will start at 7:30, and then they'll go
from 9 to 5. Lunch at 12.
Yeah,
and it'll be an action-packed day.
And just curious, who's doing the lunch? Like, is it the campus?
We've got a great food services department over there.
I know they do. That's why I'll say, if you have not had lunch on the campus, you should. There's an excuse right there.
Excellent.
They got pretty good eats.
Right.
That's what I was asking. I'm always got to know about the food here. But now, if you're not available here on the 18th, because life's already happening for you, don't hesitate to keep the SBDC's office on your. Come visit. Come by for a visit. Even if you can't participate in the big conference here, but you still want more information, or if you're still curious about being a business owner, the office is always available to you to come on down and ask these kinds of questions and get some. But if you kind of want a one-stop shop with a lot of experts and a lot of great folks presenting you with a lot of great ideas and a lot of great opportunities or directions to take a business or how to do that, then you should sign up for the event here on the 18th. But if that doesn't work in your schedule, the office is always here to help you do what you got to do.
Absolutely. I'm biased. I think you should be there anyway.
Yeah.
I think you should reschedule whatever you got planned for the 18th and make this a priority. This is going to be a phenomenal opportunity. Finishing a year strong and starting a year with the right plans, the right goals, the right objectives, the right skills, the right attitude and mindset is critical.
Absolutely.
So our timing is phenomenal.
And knowledge is power. That's just it. It's And here's the thing, especially with small business, it's most of the people that start the business, they have the love for the product, because that's what got them there. They love to make the widget, they love to create the thing, and so they're the master at that. But how to turn that into a tangible money making thing that is sustainable and all of that, that's where most people need the help. And this is where all of that comes in. You know how to make the widget. Let's make you know now how to sell the widget and make it sustainable and create that widget into a life-sustaining growing business. And that's what this is all about.
That's good. That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, think about it. It's like you look at, always hear numbers about businesses, especially like restaurants, 9 out of 10 fail in the first year or whatever that number is, or something astronomical like that. And it's because mostly of these reasons we're talking about here. They love food. They love making the food, but do they know how to manage a waiter schedule? Do they know how to balance the books? Do they know how to order food and not over order or under order? Do they know how to create a menu that isn't going to break the bank? These are the things they got to learn. And that's, we're the business side, and this side comes in to learn. It's all about dollars and cents. If you can't make the dollars make sense, and nothing else is going to make sense. And that's just how it works in the business world. And when you learn that lesson, and the earlier you learn that lesson, the better you're going to do in business.
That's right.
So come hear from experts. Come see what this is about. You have the inspiration and the dream. Now let's put the knowledge behind the inspiration and the dream.
Spend a day working on you.
Yep, absolutely. Again, Wednesday, December 18th. It's going to be the 2024 first annual Southeast New Mexico Business Development Conference. Again, it'll start at 7:30 a.m. with registration. It goes all day there at the NMUR's Instructional Training Center lobby. Please RSVP. It is a free event, does not cost a dime, but please RSVP by going on to the SBDC's website, which I'm going to let you do that. I'm trying to look for it on here.
nmsbdc.org.
Very good. And then, of course, if you also look for the SBDC Roswell, New Mexico, I think, or Roswell Redosa, I think is what it says on there. That's the Facebook page. You'll find a link to this event page. So if you don't remember email addresses, you'll find links to it there, and you can register as well through that too.
Excellent.
But it's free to register, but there's only like 38 slots left as of the 8:30 this morning here. If you want to guarantee you a free slot into this thing, you might want to get on board here today, because if you wait by maybe next week, those 38 slots might be filled up.
It's only 12 more days, and it's going to happen. So
absolutely, and it could be the thing that sets the table for your dream, your life, your career.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Is there anything else we wanted to cover? And of course, don't forget, if you are having questions about anything, don't hesitate to come to the SBDC's office here on the campus here in Roswell, at the NMUR campus here.
Yep, we're down in the Workforce Connection building, Arts and Sciences building, suite number 112. I'll give you my phone number. My direct line is 624-7133. 575-624-7133, and give us a call or go online, sign up for counseling, sign up for the event.
Set up an appointment,
and take advantage of the opportunity that's right before you. We have some phenomenal speakers that have eons, 30 and 40 years of experience doing what you do and
succeeding.
Why? If you can learn from people that have had 30, 20, 30, 40 years of experience, and you can spend a day to learn that, why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Absolutely. It's literally like, to put like sports analogies on it, it's like getting football lessons from Joe Montana. It's like getting, you know what I mean? Or we'll say, I'll go with a coach then, Joe Gibbs. It's like getting coaching advice for football advice from Joe Gibbs.
Right.
These are people that are the top levels of what they do, and you're getting to pick their brain. I mean, that's you don't get opportunities like that. This is, so talk to these folks that have probably been in your shoes, maybe even worse, farther down the rabbit hole than you think you are sometimes, and you see where they're at today, and and I'm going to take a stab that when you're done talking with these folks, you're going to find it's a combination of a lot of things. Organization and all that's key. But I think part of it's just it's the mindset. If you got to have if you're like, hey, you're ready to put your head to the wall to do what you got to do, and you're willing to pivot when need to pivot to succeed. And once you understand that, then you're going to be probably one of these people in 20 years talking at one of these things to other people about your business.
That's right. That's right.
So, again, go to the website or go to the Facebook page and sign up here December 18th. All registration, everything starts at 7:30. The actual conference will start at 9 a.m. and goes all day. Lunch will be included. It is completely free, but you got to RSVP. And there's only about 38 slots left, so don't wait. Get her done today or tomorrow to do that. So
Awesome. We'd love to have all of you come.
Well, we appreciate the visit, and we got to get you back in here more often just to say, hey, business, you should do that stuff.
Love to do it.
Yep. And
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, for folks looking to start businesses here in Roswell, you're kind of hitting. This is almost like I'm serious, and I'm not trying to say this could be kind of like the old the 49ers and the gold rush and that kind of things that are going on west and silver mines popping up. Although this would be much more sustainable, but this Reno Air Race thing could be that level-esque thing for Roswell and this community. When that thing comes to town, the businesses, the growth, the people, and for you to get a business right before all that happens, you might be just, it could be the to just draw comparisons, the internet boom of the 90s before the bot, you know what I mean? You could be getting in on that when it was the good time to get in on that.
That's right.
Not the bad time later on.
And remember the 7 Ps. You remember the 7 Ps? Proper prior preparation prevents pitiful poor performance.
I think I heard a more saltier version, but yes.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is the opportunity to prepare.
Absolutely.
And be prepared.
Yeah. You're kind of riding the wave at a really unique time in Roswell's and if you keep your ear to the ground, pay attention, and maybe go to events like this, you can kind of tap into some of that.
Absolutely.
So, good deal. Well, Scott, as always, appreciate the visit, and we'll look forward to next time. And if I don't see you before Christmas, please, Merry Christmas to you and your family and everybody else. So.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one.
Happy holidays.
It is 8:42. Let's pause for some news, your Chaves County sports update, and your Red Apple stock market report, and a few commercials to pay for lunch. Don't go away.
In the last couple of weeks. Another flood recovery meeting is scheduled in Roswell on Wednesday at 5:30 at the ENMU Roswell Instructional Technology Center Commons. Topics will include flood impact recovery, featuring local leaders and representatives from the New Mexico Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, as well as FEMA. The meeting will also be made available on Zoom. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Let's catch up on some boys hoops, including a game from last Thursday where Goddard nipped Moriarty 50-48. The Rockets are 2-0. They'll be playing at the Hub City tournament coming up on Thursday against Belen. That starts at 6 o'clock Thursday night. Meanwhile, everybody else in this county had some tough tournament days over the past few days, Friday and Saturday in particular. Dexter lost to Cobre 69-31, then fell on Saturday to Chaparral 49-34. Same tournament, NMMI lost to Hot Springs 50-48 on Friday, but then fell to Silver on Saturday, but 65-48. On Friday, Hagerman falls to Melrose and then lost to Quemado on Saturday. Gateway Christian beat Quemado on Friday, but then fell to Melrose on Saturday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by tomorrow. Cold front headed in from the Central Rockies. For now, we'll stay sunny and mild. Afternoon high will be in the upper 60s. We'll have some clouds for the overnight hours, low to mid 30s, and then maybe a few snow flurries early on Tuesday. Cloudy and a lot cooler in the afternoon. We should see some sunshine by late in the day, though. Mid 40s on the high. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
all across America. This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished mixed Friday. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ Composite hit new intraday highs as the November jobs report came in better than expected. The Labor Department says 227,000 jobs were created last month compared to October's upwardly revised 36,000. The unemployment rate edged higher to 4.2%. That was in line with expectations. And consumer sentiment improved in December despite a jump in inflation fears. The University of Michigan's early reading for the month rose 3% from November. And meanwhile, the one-year outlook for inflation rose to its highest level since last summer. In company-specific news, the tech-heavy NASDAQ boosted by gains for Tesla, Meta, and Amazon. Social media platform TikTok had a bad day Friday as a federal appeals court upheld a law that requires parent company ByteDance to sell itself or face an outright ban in the U.S. And at the closing bell Friday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 123 points. The S&P 500 up 0.25%. The NASDAQ Composite up 0.81%. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
If you're looking for premium hand-rolled cigars blended by some of the best master blenders in the industry, using the finest aged tobacco from Nicaragua, with 4 different blends and complexities to satisfy any palate, try my all-time favorite at My Patriot Cigar Company. Right now, use promo code STONE for 25% off and free shipping on orders over $75. Go to mypatriotcigars.com and use promo code STONE. mypatriotcigars.com. It's a premium.
It's huge. It's colossal. It's Roswell Ford's biggest automotive clearance event of the year at our temporary location next to Allsup's on West 2nd and Sycamore Streets. Enter the front of the tents off West 2nd Street next to Allsup's for huge savings from now till the end of the month. The all-new Roswell Ford received massive shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles without flood damage. To move them out, we've marked them down, way down. Plus, get $1,500 flood assistance cash in hand when you buy any new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle. Worried about your trade or credit? Don't sweat it. We've instructed our staff to take any trade, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Even if you owe up to $10,000 more than it's worth. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it. So you can upgrade to a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit with great terms, even if it's less than perfect. Everyone knows when the tents go up, prices come down. At Roswell Ford's temporary location next to Allsup's on West 2nd Street and Sycamore Streets. Or visit RoswellFord.com.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water-diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating 2 companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation. innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Attention business owners, grow your revenue and increase your profits. The Small Business Development Center will show you how. Attend this free seminar on Wednesday, December 18th. Learn marketing, management, business plan development, tax planning, and more. Even if you're thinking about starting a business, you need to register now at 624-7131 or online at nmsbdc.org. Wednesday, December 18th, 8 a.m. at ENMUR's ITC building. Presented by the Roswell Hispano Chamber and paid for in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
The weather is changing, and what is cooler than being at the Cow? Well, we can't think of anything. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell is your authorized Brothers Sewing Machine dealer for Southeast New Mexico, and they're all on sale right now at the Calico Cow. New fabric styles for fall are here, and holiday and Christmas fabrics continue to arrive daily. If you're still stitched to your own machine and you just want a tune-up, call for in-house maintenance, 575-639-2586. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the Cow.
This holiday season, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you stay healthy and enjoy the moments that matter most. Whether it's a routine visit or something unexpected, our caring team is here for you every step of the way, because nothing should keep you from celebrating with the ones you love. Visit artesiageneral.com to see how we can support your health and happiness. From all of us at Artesia General Hospital, happy holidays.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he's from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58, closing in on 8:59 here. Stay tuned next hour. Around 9:15 or so, we're going to be joined in studio by Denise Trowbridge and Larry Martin from Midday Lions. And we'll get an update from them, talking about some of the things they've got going on. And, of course, they're also talk a little bit about their annual Christmas fundraiser, their Christmas lights carriage ride out to see the Christmas lights. That'll start up here in the next 2 weekends as well. So we'll talk all about that and all the updates from the Midday Lions here next hour with them. Speaking of other Christmas activities for you to do, besides going out and looking at the Christmas lights, the second annual Reason for the Season Christmas Drive-Thru is happening December 16th through the 21st, 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And it's a drive-through event they've done. They did last year for the first year, hence the second annual. But it's out at 6349 West 2nd, out down by the Zia Power, down that area on the highway heading towards Ruidoso. And so it's free, and you get to learn the meaning of Christmas, and it's really neat. So, but that'll fire up here December 16th to the 21st. All right, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Fallen dictator Bashar al-Assad has been granted political asylum in Russia, that according to the Kremlin. Meanwhile, there are questions about terrorist ties among members of the rebel alliance now in charge in Damascus. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin claims the fall of Assad caught the U.S. by surprise.
I think the entire international community was surprised to see that the opposition forces moved as quickly as they did. And I think everybody expected to see a much more stiff resistance from Assad's forces.
Our military affairs analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis, says the situation in Syria will only aggravate unrest across the Middle East.
So you have a region that is up in arms already with the wars against Israel, but of course the ISIS peace, in Iraq, and this civil war has been going on for 14 years, and now it's just going to, quite frankly, become far more confusing than it's been.
And U.S. airstrikes have hit ISIS camps in central Syria, while Israel has bombed suspected chemical weapon sites and long-range missiles inside Syria. President-elect Trump defending his tariffs threat.
Trump told NBC's Meet the Press that tariffs are going to make us rich, but he also said he couldn't guarantee that U.S. households won't end up paying higher prices for goods. Many economists predict that added costs on imported goods would lead to higher prices, but the president-elect said he didn't believe those predictions.
And that's White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Police divers have been in New York City's Central Park Lake looking for the gun that was used in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. They haven't found anything yet. The hunt for the gunman is now in its sixth day. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Our nation's problems have been building for the...
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
South Korea's chief corruption investigator says he's ordered a travel ban on President Yoon over Yoon's recent martial law declaration.
Banning a sitting president from leaving the country he's supposed to be governing is a major move and raises questions about what control Mr. Yoon now has over the government. On Sunday, his party said power had been handed over to the Prime Minister, but on Monday, South Korea's Ministry of Defense said Mr. Yoon still had at least one role, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Opposition politicians said the current chaos was unconstitutional and are again planning to try to impeach the president.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. China's military appears to be getting ready for widely anticipated drills in response to a recent visit by Taiwan's president to Hawaii and Guam. Taiwan's defense ministry says it's detected Chinese naval and Coast Guard ships entering the Taiwan Strait and the Western Pacific. Townhall.com. Someone has paid what could be a record price for a pair of slippers, but these aren't just any slippers.
A pair of ruby slippers that Judy Garland wore in The Wizard of Oz has sold for $28 million.
There's no place like home.
Heritage Auctions had estimated the ruby slippers would sell for $3 million. Within minutes, bidding tripled that amount. Then phone bidders volleyed back and forth for 15 minutes. With the auction house fee, the winning bidder will pay $32.5 million. That buyer is unknown. The Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota had made a play for the shoes and says it is not the winning bidder. The shoes were on loan to the museum when they were stolen in 2005. The FBI recovered them in 2018. I'm Margie Zaraletta.
And stocks are in the red this morning on Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is down 81 points, while the Nasdaq is off 130 and the S&P 31 points lower. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
I don't know, man. I missed the final countdown. Tracy Biernos.
I fixed it. Sorry. It will not be doing that till next hour. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope your Monday is going amazingly well.
Indeed.
And kind of a roller coastery weather. Like it's
roller coaster.
It's gonna be like warm
weather
today and then freezing tomorrow, and then like kind of just tapering off into a nice creamy 60s.
It's sort of like that. So, okay, my daughter is kind of obsessed with watching the weather. Like she loves watching weather forecasts.
Think she'd be a meteorologist in her future?
It's possible. She has a healthy, like her mother has a healthy fear of weather. But so we were up at the Mickey D's yesterday having lunch, and they have a TV.
McRib's back, by the way.
Oh, it is fantastic.
I've had 2.
We were over at the South one, and they have a TV. There's a lot of noise around. There's a TV that's just showing kind of just random news and stuff, and it showed weather in different cities. And kind of across the board, tomorrow is going to be a suck day.
Really?
Like they showed Phoenix, they showed Dallas, New York City. Dallas was like 14 degrees tomorrow or something stupid like that.
We're not getting that bad.
No, it's something ridiculous.
We're just moderately not good.
Tomorrow's gonna be a big old day of suck.
Well, for us then, it's not so bad.
No, where are we at?
49.
Oh, that's doable.
Not even raining or nothing.
Oh, that's just jacket and long sleeve t-shirt weather.
But we're going from like 68 to 47 or something like that. So it's just a big drop.
Yesterday, I don't know if your computer audio is on, but it just made a funny noise.
Oh, it's an email.
Yesterday was like the nicest day of the entire year, and we weren't alone in thinking, hey, let's go to the park, because boy, that was packed.
It was parked.
It was a loaded up park, yeah.
Nice.
But it's always nice, you know. We had the one parent that was making sure to warn all the other kids that some kid peed in the sand, and I was the parent running over to make sure it wasn't my kids.
All right. It's just a big litter box.
It is, yeah. The world's really a big. This was the weird thing, though. So my kid did have to go to the bathroom, but there was and there's a porta potty close by, so I took him over to it. I've never, and I don't know what the people who are handling the sanitation services around here are using for their air freshener or porta potty freshener. It smelled, and I mean exactly.
Yeah?
Like Fruity Pebbles.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe someone deposited some pebbles.
It was mind-blowing. I was just like, why does it smell like Fruity Pebbles in here? It's the weirdest thing I've ever come in contact with. Like, not Fruit Loops, not like like Fruity Pebbles specifically.
Specifically Fruity Pebbles.
Uh-huh.
No Applejack, no Fruit Loops. No.
Just if you're a parent and have ever opened a fresh bag of Fruity Pebbles, you know that smell that comes. Yeah, that's that smell.
Not Cocoa Pebbles.
We're not talking. Yeah, we're not talking about no Krispies.
No Frankenberries.
Where it should smell like Fiber One in there.
Actually, I'd take a Fiber One smell over what it really is.
I remember, and you talk about how your grandma always used to have the good cereals for you. I remember having breakfast at my grandma's house for whatever reason. I'd be staying the night at her house, and I kind of developed a liking to the fiber cereals that I was up for something. Like the fiber cereals that she had. Basic 4 was like kind of my jam back in the day. Or that one with those like the sticks.
Yeah. My jam to this day still, and it's because of my grandma, is the Quaker Oats toasted squares.
And so those are legit.
Yeah, that was like the most sexiest cereal she carried in her with her Special K and her Total.
Yeah, my dad was addicted to Total.
Grape Nuts and the grossest of cereals. There was that, and that was it was a beacon of and to this day I still there's a box in my pantry at the house right now.
Nice. Yeah, I mean Quaker, I think, was maybe out of her budget, but she always did have the very heavy fiber cereals.
Yeah. Well, my grandma, she was very bougie in her foods. told these stories.
But I remember
all this.
I remember Basic 4. It was a big deal when that one came out. She would love that.
Yeah.
And then the total was in my house, like my parents, my dad specifically would get that all the time.
I remember when my grandma broke down and bought Crispix because they like first came out. It's like, oh, she getting, because Crispix was that creamy middle too.
Yeah, corn on one side, rice on the other.
But it wasn't kids cereal, but it wasn't exactly, the total fiber. It'll make you poop like a champ. And they didn't really tout it that way.
Yep.
They just said, hey, it's kind of a tasty cereal that isn't got cows or kids or anything on it. So I was kind of like, ooh, I can eat Crispix. Still not as tasty as the toasted old squares, but
you know what's funny is, and I still to this day I look for it. If I can find it, I'll get it. Rather than cornflakes growing up, we had Post Toasties.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
That was a big one in my family. It wasn't we weren't a cornflake family. We were a Post Toasty family.
Well, and to my detriment, and this is the one thing where brand snobbery kicked in. And you said Post, and this is what reminded me of it, is in that same era, there, of course, Pop-Tarts, Kellogg's Pop-Tarts, the ones we know and love. But there was also these Toasties.
Oh, yeah.
The knockoff brand, and they were god-awful. They were not even remotely as tasty as a Pop-Tart.
Right.
They tasted like your grandma's Pop-Tart.
Like, how do you get it wrong?
Like, it's like, it even tastes kind of healthy, which is really gross. It was just, and so whenever I saw that, and I know this, I thought I equated it to those garbage Pop-Tarts.
Oh, see. That's just dragging the sins of one brand over to another.
It did. But in my head, my pea brain, I equated them as this thing.
I bet you're a box of awful.
I said, nope, from the makers, nope.
But I rather enjoyed the Post Toasties.
But to this day, my love for the Simple Fudge bars goes to my grandma, because she always kept those when she knew when I'd come for the tweaks, she knew I'm a chocoholic, and that was the treats she would make sure would be the fudge bars. And then she'd keep a half gallon of ice cream of a certain flavor called Heavenly Hash.
Oh,
and it's basically Rocky Road.
Sure,
but I think there's a slight twist on it.
Okay.
And to this day, that is, I rarely see the brand Heavenly Hash. But when I do, I'm like, I'm getting it.
Yep.
I don't care.
I will always.
That memory.
I'm not familiar with Heavenly. Like the Moose Tracks was kind of a big deal when that came out. But I will always associate that giant, and we've had this conversation 1,000 times, that giant tub of ice cream with fudge ripple, specifically vanilla with that fudge ribbon.
And to this day, if I get the hankering, some of my favorite ice cream is that same tub, but just of chocolate.
Right.
It's the creaminess factor to it. To me, it's like a hardened version of soft ice cream.
Like I don't know what you call hard soft serve.
Yeah.
Just serve.
But
just serve.
But it tastes like soft serve, but it's more in a hard variety.
Right.
But if you beat it up enough and turn it back to soft
ice
serve,
cream soup.
It's really, it's one of my favorites. And that ice cream is perfect for that. So that one has a warm soft.
That's when you got a little time on your hands and you can project it.
And so even every once in a while, and it's only farmers I get them at. There's a certain one. It's a thing I got. I'm there. I'm like, I'm going to get my ice cream tub because I haven't had one in a while. Yep, I am. And I eat the whole dang thing. Not at once, but over the course of a month or whatever.
After you finish the thing, it makes a fantastic cereal bowl.
That's right. Or keep in the car for emergency.
Yeah, that's right. Because you never know when you need a bucket for something.
Well, when you eat that much ice cream at a time. All right, we got the folks on the Lions Club. I can't top that, so we're going to stop right there.
I actually kind of can. The other day, my kid, when they were sick, it was, I don't know what he was thinking, but we were leaving the house and he was worried he was going to throw up in the car.
Yeah.
So he grabbed an Amazon box that I had on the floor.
Nice.
And he took the paper that was in it out of it. He said, I'm going to bring this in case I barf. But I'm like, it's a cardboard box. That's going to leak.
A little bit.
I mean, I appreciate his forethought.
Exactly. Maybe leave the paper in.
There's something in there to absorb.
That's right. He's got some dirt, cat litter. All right. It is 9:16 here. For your listening pleasure is the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got some colder temperatures on the way by tomorrow. Cold front headed in from the central Rockies. For now, we'll stay sunny and mild. Afternoon high will be in the upper 60s. We'll have some clouds for the overnight hours, low to mid 30s, and then maybe a few snow flurries early on Tuesday. Cloudy and a lot cooler in the afternoon. We should see some sunshine by late in the day, though. Mid 40s on the high. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get my weather pressure. Currently, come on, it's spinning. There it goes. 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 43%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today with a high of 69 degrees. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Increasing clouds tonight with an overnight low of 33 degrees. Winds out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, going to be cold tomorrow. Like, we're going to be, like, pushing, 70 today. Tomorrow, our high is 47. Mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing. 47 for a high tomorrow with winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 24 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, back into the mid-50s, sunny and 56 for a high. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny, back near 60 for a high. And then gradually a little warmer, just kind of floating in the mid-60s Friday, 66. And then for the weekend, Saturday and 63 Saturday, and sunny and 63 on Sunday as well. So looks like tomorrow's the one day it kind of gets cold, then it kind of balances out for the rest of the week here. All right, 9:18. Let's take a 3-minute break, and then we'll talk Lions Club on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Bring in the new year with Mark Chestnut, Tuesday, December 31st from 6 p.m. till midnight at the Artesia Country Club.
Oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. I should have been that and she'd never left.
Say so long to 2024 and welcome in the new year with drinks, food, and friends beginning at 6 p.m. General admission is $100. Kids admission is only $20. Dinner at the Country Club and the concert is $250, or upgrade to a VIP table for 6 for $5,000 with only 4 tables left. VIP includes a private and intimate dinner with Mark Chestnut from 7 to 9 p.m., with the concert beginning at 10 p.m. All proceeds to benefit the Pena Project, helping to cover funerals and end-of-life costs for unexpected situations. Get tickets and learn more at thepenaproject.org. Celebrate the new year with Mark Chestnut.
Bubba shot the jukebox last night. He said it played a sad song. It made him cry.
Tuesday, December 31st, 6 p.m. till midnight at the Artesia Country Club. Get tickets and more info at thepenaproject.org.
Attention business owners, grow your revenue and increase your profits. The Small Business Development Center will show you how. Attend this free seminar on Wednesday, December 18th. Learn marketing, management, business plan development, tax planning, and more. Even if you're thinking about starting a business, you need to register now at 624-7131 or online at nmsbdc.org. Wednesday, December 18th, 8 a.m. at ENMUR's ITC building. Presented by the Roswell Hispano Chamber and paid for in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
When you're active, injuries happen. Don't let them keep you on the sidelines. Make your comeback stronger with Soft Wave Therapy. Cutting-edge treatment to get you back in the action. Soft Wave Therapy is non-invasive and offers quick treatment with little to no side effects. This is the same technology used by the nation's top universities and professional athletes. Get back into the game. Give Premier Chiropractic a call today at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Thursday from 9 till noon at the grand opening of the all-new Schlotzsky's in Artesia. The home of the funny name and the serious sandwich has finally arrived in Bulldog Country, and we'll be on hand for the ribbon cutting, and you can enjoy a small original original sandwich for just $2.99 all day. Plus, the first 150 customers will receive a surprise coupon and purchase any meal for your chance to win a PlayStation 5. See you Thursday from 9 till noon at the grand opening of Schlotzsky's at 905 West Main in Artesia.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, Larry Martin. I don't even think the seat's cold yet. He was back in with us Friday here. Wearing same hat. We're the Midday Lions hat here. And then Denise Trowbridge here with Scouting America, here Scouting USA as well, too. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? How's the weekend?
Doing great.
Good. How's the parade? I know you guys were in the parade on Saturday. How'd that turn out for you?
Well, I got a sore arm from waving.
You have two arms. You could have switched,
My wife and I were both in there. We were waving and saying, Merry Christmas. That's all we got by the end of the parade.
Well, you got to save your strength because you got 2 more weekends of busyness to do here.
It was a great parade, though. It was a great parade.
Good deal. Excellent. And, of course, for folks not familiar, we were talking with Larry here a little bit, and with the Lions internationally, one of their big tentpole things is eyeglasses and things like that. So, but before we get into the scouting side of things, I do want to throw the plug in for the Lions Club, which is actually coming up here the next 2 weeks. Your annual Christmas Lights Carriage Ride tradition, that's coming up here with the Lions. It'll be these next 2 weekends.
Start this Friday.
Yeah, these next 2 weekends. So tell a little bit, if folks missed you on Friday, kind of talk a little bit about what you guys do.
Well, we have a carriage. Used to be drawn by horses, but our horses died. And it's really hard to get a pair of horses that work together. So we have to use a truck.
Okay.
But it's nice and quiet, so we can sing if people want to.
Less poop, I'm going to say.
Yes, yes. In fact, I spent 3 years being the pooper scooper.
Now he done. So you're out of a job.
You can't leave it on the street. The neighbors really get upset.
Well, if there's a pair of horses that work together, we need to put Larry back to work. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But until then, we got a vehicle that'll get you around.
Well, the neighbors love us to do it too. They have a very well lit neighborhood. 2 streets we go down.
Well, it gives them. Because there's always the keeping up with the Joneses factor when it comes to Christmas lights and that kind of, you know what I mean? Everyone kind of one-ups them until somebody just gives up and they just do the ditto kind of thing. Kind of like what they do over. But anyway, so I imagine it's fun for them because they know that they've got a target. I mean, that's a very popular area to go for Christmas light browsing, I guess.
Yeah.
But you guys, you created an audience every year for them to make sure. So you kind of put them on their A game. It's like, hey, they're coming to see our lights. We better bring it, and they do. That area over by the pecan orchard, it's probably one of the prettiest areas in Roswell during that time of year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think every house is worth about $1 million.
Yeah, that's true too. There's
close.
very affluent people that live there, have very nice houses.
Very nice.
They have people put their Christmas lights up, probably.
I'm guessing people that do it for a living.
Yeah.
There's actual companies you can buy that do or hire that do those kinds of things.
Yeah, I understand. There's a large one in Lubbock that comes over and does several of those.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a beautiful neighborhood, and this is a great way to put together a fundraiser for the Lions.
Absolutely. And how many years, as long as I can remember, but that's been the Lions tradition for many years.
Well,
now.
at least 15.
Yeah, as long as I can remember. So the next 2 weekends, the Friday and Saturday night, they'll be. Is it 6 to 9?
And Sunday. We added
the Sunday too.
Yeah. 6 to 9.
6 to 9. You can get an appointment, a reservation, and to get on the carriage and then enjoy the beautiful Christmas lights. There's cocoa. They kind of make it.
We have a nice campfire, and it's right there in front of the Scout office.
Yeah, exactly right, and it's tying it together right there at the Scout Hut on Aspen. There, that's where you meet up for the carriage ride there, and what is about 20 minutes, half hour?
20, 25 minutes. Yeah. Every 30 minutes we launch. So.
Now, the warning is reservations do fill fast.
Mm-hmm.
You can go online to the Lions website, which we'll give you here in just a second, and book your reservation. Highly recommended. You're on it today.
They're already filling up.
I'm about to say they fill up pretty quick and do that. Larry, what is the website that folks can book their reservations at?
Roswell, midday, MIDDAY, lions.org.
Very good. All one word because it's the internet.
And it's .org, yeah, no spaces.
And it .org because it's a charity, nonprofit. Right. It's generally your nonprofit tag for those things there. But you can go there, and like I said, you might want to get on that here pretty quickly, especially if you have a narrow window over the next 2 weekends here. And they'll do it all this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then again Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'll be the weekend before Christmas, actually. There.
It's also worth mentioning that there are a number of youth-focused groups that businesses will buy groups of tickets for them as a sponsorship. So Assurance Home, Lighthouse, Barb, they're getting a group of tickets purchased by one of the local businesses. But it's win-win. The kids get to see the Christmas lights, and a business gets the recognition for sponsoring them.
Absolutely. And and the Lions, of course, get to continue to do the good work they do.
That's right.
By you purchasing your tickets for this event here. So please come. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. And based on the weather I'm looking at this weekend, I think it's relatively mild weather.
Yeah, it's going to be good. 60 and high means then the days, the 90 is not going to be too cold.
Yeah, the overnight lows, like Saturday night is freezing. Yeah, freezing right at 32 overnight. So by those evenings, it'll be good, perfect cocoa weather.
Campfire weather.
Yeah, but you're not going to be like, in the carriage either. So
we have plenty of blankets. And,
yeah, they'll bundle you up if it does get frigid.
Right.
This is like the post office, rain, sleet, or snow. It happens. It happens, and to be honest, it should have a little snow.
I mean, a little bit.
How does it
you want
make
to
it
feel
not,
the season?
Yeah, if you want the Norman Rockwell experience, you got to have the snow. But talk a little bit about if you don't mind, Larry, what. When you raise this money, what you guys do with this stuff? Because
primarily, Lion's primary cause for fundraising is to buy and support kids that need eyeglasses.
Mm-hmm.
We pay for the examination and the glasses. And right now, the schools are doing a good job too, but we're sort of backing them up. And statewide, we have a program where we're analyzing youth. 3 to 7, where their eyes are just developing. We can take a photograph or an image of their eyeballs, find out if they have a problem. And if you can catch it before 7, it makes a lot of difference. So we're offering this really to all the daycare centers who want to be involved.
Before they get into the school, the formal school program, so to speak here. Yeah. And this is a relatively breakthrough within the last 10 years or so, because most of us, when we were kids, they didn't even think about putting in glasses to your kindergarten when they said, "Oh, maybe this kid's having vision problems, can't read so well." And that's when people now, I mean, you're seeing 6 months old as early as they're now starting to understand this stuff. And you're seeing 3-year-olds.
But the technology has come so far in those scanning. It's like almost like a gun that they line up their eyes with and take the picture. But it's so quick and easy.
Absolutely. So as parents, they're looking at this stuff much earlier now. So, and where I think the Lions really work well is, like you said, there's school programs you kind of work in, and when the Lions kick in, when they slip through all the other cracks, so to speak.
We hope so.
There's usually because primary health care doesn't cover vision very much usually. I mean, I think that's starting to change. I hope, but that's generally dental, vision. They're treated like these evil stepkids of healthcare.
And the state programs don't actually kick in until 7 years old. So that's when they need to know how to see is to learn to read.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is and to be honest, I know we talk about school and they're entering in kindergarten but they're sponges at that level. Like I always tell you, when they do the preschool story times at the library and they do it in Spanish and English. Get your kids there. I don't care what your first language is. Put them in there. And if you could teach your kids Spanish when they're 2 and 3, as opposed to 16, it's so much better.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm getting off topic. All this with the eyeglasses and everything, it really helps. So please, if we'd love to have you come out, and an easy way for you to support and help these kids is come out and enjoy a Christmas carriage ride and enjoy the Christmas lights and have some hot cocoa and bring your family and create some memories for your family. And all of that is helping get these kids glasses and adults. I mean, we're talking kids, but there's some adults that do also benefit from the Lions glasses as well, too.
And it's not just kids here in our neighborhood. Used glasses can be donated, and those are recycled for kids all over the world.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix. So please, if you do see the bins for the ride, please drop them off there. It's part of the same thing, different program. It's helping the provision, just goes to different people, and it's kind of the green side of it, because let's face it, these glasses are going to end up in the trash, or they sit in a drawer with the other 6 glasses from the last 6 you bought, and you're like, these are my backups. It's like, those first backups, they're not even, you might as well just take them off, because that prescription's so dang thick. As you get older, those prescriptions get worse.
Yeah, Lions have been recycling glasses since before recycling was cool.
Yeah, exactly. So think of it as the green way to do that.
Exactly.
If someone has used old glasses, they can take it to any optometrist or eye doctor in town.
We've got boxes set up just about everywhere.
You got the inside lockdown on all the optometrists. They know.
They'll take it real easy.
Awesome. So
they save a box for us, and we pick it up.
Good deal. So think about that. Next time you go get your new glasses, don't take your old ones with you and say, Doc, I don't need these anymore. Donate them to the Lions.
Empty out that junk drawer.
Absolutely. I know I probably got 2 pair of glasses I need to grab out, because matter of fact, over the weekend I was looking for something in the drawer. I was like, how many glasses ago was that one? It was sitting in a case in the bottom drawer, and I
glasses and cell phones.
And then, matter of fact, I think there was an iPhone 8 in there too. Absolutely here. Of course, like we said, again, go to the website, get your tickets, but you're going to meet at Boy Scout headquarters, which is on Aspen, right off of Country Club, right there in the heart of the orchard there.
2603 North Aspen. Yeah.
There you go. That's the address there.
It's well lit.
It is well lit.
You can't miss it.
Yeah, come on down there, and they'll be serving everything. And then I invite you, maybe not so much in those evenings because they won't be open, but during the day, come on by Scout headquarters there, talk. They have an amazing scout shop there that obviously scouts buy scout stuff at the scout shop.
But anybody can buy.
There's no
camping
rule.
stuff,
and
scout stuff.
Yeah, there's camping stuff. There's a lot. I mean, you maybe not into buying a uniform, but certainly there's some great. I'm telling you what. I don't care what anybody says. You want to be prepared. You want go buy you a scout handbook and put it in the glove box of your car. And don't tell me you won't find useful things in that.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I defy you to find it not useful.
Yeah. We definitely sell a lot of stuff that you can't find at other retailers here in Roswell. So, yeah,
right.
Stop by.
I'm just saying, Christmas shopping is a thing, and you could do that there. So what is the store hours over, the shop hours?
Scout office is open from 8 till 5,
okay,
Monday
so whenever
through
the
Friday.
office is open, the store is open as well, too.
Yep.
So you can come on by there. And, of course, if you want to learn more about scouting, if you're interested in finding a troop near you or anything else, this is, there's so many ways to get involved in scouting. At the various levels. Obviously, a lot of times people go through school or their church, or if there's a local troop or pack as assigned to that thing. But sometimes you're new to town and you're like, I don't know. Well, come on down to the Scout headquarters here on Aspen, and let them put you in touch with a troop or a pack near you that can help you out.
Yep. And actually, it's worth mentioning that the Lions Club is one of our largest chartering organizations.
Excellent.
Here in Roswell.
So it makes sense that, you guys partner up.
That's
I used to be a Cub Master about 50 years ago.
Nice.
And he's an Eagle Scout.
You are an Eagle Scout. Congratulations. There's 2 in the room.
I'm one. I was my nature merit badge short of being an Eagle.
You just missed it.
Giving you credit because you went into the military.
You get to be about 16 and you say, I'm tired of that. That's a big mistake.
You know what I did? I tell this story all the time. I was that Super Scout at first, because I got in, and then, I got life like at the earliest possible you could get life, with the time in service and all that. And so I was whatever it is, 12 and whatever. I was barely. And from there on, I did continue to earn merit badges and promote in various leadership roles in the troop and all that. But I really didn't pursue the Eagle until later. I went to Philmont. I went to Australia as a World Jamboree. I went to and Philmont's a bigger deal for me because I'm from Maryland. It wasn't just a 3-hour bus trip.
Yeah.
It was a bigger deal. It was a 3-day bus trip that broke down in Kansas, and another story. But I got to see. I explored all of scouting. I went to World Jamboree. I was blessed to live near the National Jamboree, so I went to there every year, and so I did scouting. And then about 17, I was like, I gotta, and then I was dealing with the other, girls were also interesting at that point in my life, and things,
somehow things changed.
Yeah, that all happened. But I did buckle down, and I'm telling you, I turned 18 in April of 1991. I got my eagle in like February of 1991. So I know that path, Larry, very well. But I am an Eagle Scout. But to me, I'm proud of my eagle, and I'm so thankful for all of that. But to be honest, the creamy middle between Life Scout and Eagle is what sealed the deal for scouting for me.
Yeah.
That's what made it special. So.
Yeah. Well, you've taken a lot of the ethics and morals that we teach, and you've done a lot of good within our community. So we appreciate that you're carrying the torch for sure.
Well, that's why I'm such a fan of scouting, because scouting is, my parents did a great job raising me, but much of what I know and where I've learned and my experiences of the world started through scouting.
Yep.
Opened that world to me.
Yep. And scouting wouldn't be possible here in Roswell if it weren't for these great organizations like Lions Club, like the American Legion.
If you're out there,
like these churches, there's lots. So
and they're always looking for organizations to charter and sponsor our various scout troops and packs.
And exploring posts.
And exploring posts too, which we're growing on that. There's more and more opportunities. Matter of fact, Denise will be joining us later on to talk a little bit more about a new Explorer post through Loveless, an opportunity there. So there's lots of great, and by the way, maybe now if you're not familiar, I guess I ought to start because I'm talking scouts and I'm talking like people know scouts. The very beginning of scouts, they start in Tigers and they go into Cub, and then they transition to the scouting organization. But as they get older, there's other opportunities too. There's called exploring posts, and these get niche. And they generally they're built based on an interest. Not necessarily, but 99% of the time it's based on interest. Like the Sheriff's Department or the Roswell Police Department having a Explorer post that's, focused on law enforcement.
We had an aviation Explorer post on an air base.
Yeah, and I think they're actually kicking that up back here too and getting that going.
We're still working on it.
That's if you're interested in that, we're working that angle. And so these Explorer posts geared to more the older population of scouting.
14 to 20 years old.
Yeah, and it's to kind of give them interest in maybe career or just whatever hobby or interest they're into and go on to that. And it allows them to continue the scouting experience. And by the way, generally scouting for most youth ends at 18. Exploring goes on to 21. So it kind of keeps...
it's kind of that next step. Like, you earn all these merit badges in Scouts BSA, exploring career opportunities and what's in your area. And exploring is just the next step beyond that.
Think of it like the library. We have the kids section and then you have the teen section. Where it's like, because the teens don't care about the kids. They don't really want to read. But that's what exploring is. It's kind of like, they don't want to do some of the things that the younger scouts are doing. But, at the same time, they're not quite ready to go work the salt mine yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what exploring, it gives them that opportunity. So if there's lots of avenues there. Maybe your business or your organization could use something like that. Maybe you're welders. Like, we could start a welding.
Well, I'll tell you the feedback that I've gotten. I went out and recruited at Roswell High School and Goddard High School during lunch. And I went and talked to kids throughout all the lunch period for multiple days.
Yeah.
We need aviation. We need automotive repair. Kids were really interested in that.
With the auto dealerships or the college, I can't imagine we can't put
trades like carpentry, plumbing, and HVAC. All of that, those kids were interested in. And I was impressed they knew what it was.
Yeah. Well, and they're all seeing it as their future. And really, and college is a great path to get your education on it, but not every student thrives in that environment. And exploring gives opportunities for youth to young adults to find their path a little bit. And Like I remember when I was young. I didn't obviously go down this path, but I was in a Sea Explorer program for a little bit because I lived in Maryland. You can't throw a rock and hit water around there. so we did like sailing and some of that kind of stuff. Obviously that didn't turn out my career, but it was a cool thing that I got to do.
I could totally see you as a tugboat captain.
Actually, my brother and my sister-in-law, that's where they went to college at the SUNY Maritime Academy. You've heard of the Merchant Marine Academy?
Oh, yeah.
This is the state of New York's version of that. Right across the river from that, they were kind of bitter rivals and all that. Yeah, my sister-in-law, she doesn't. They both work for a government agency that it's kind of like, actually, it's very secret.
So bring it up on the air.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, like, I don't know exactly what they do, but they work for like a CIA-like thing now.
Nice.
That's what they do. But it's not CIA, but it's anyway, never mind. Anyway, but in college, and my sister-in-law, she actually did it for a couple summers. She drove like in the harbor, the boat, the little passenger tugboats that drive around and sightsee tourist stuff. She did one in Virginia.
Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah,
right?
she did that kind of thing for just for kicks. That wasn't like her day job. She just did it, to drive a boat. And my brother, he was certified to navigate all that stuff. Now what they do is like my brother has something to do with underwater mapping for the government, and a lot of it's to do with SOS, the signals out and when Maydays and all. So it's stuff. But there's a whole secret squirrel world of that I don't know about, and he doesn't really care to share.
You might not want to know about
and
it.
probably best I don't know. So based on
don't
my
wanna
own
know.
time in the military dealing with some of that stuff, yeah, less is more sometimes. But anyway, so they have, but that was through that. But that's what exploring's all about, is to expose young folks to just these opportunities. So if you're a business or an organization that thinks, hey, this might be a great way to, I don't know, create a scout system for my, for my business.
Well, it's a way to recruit. In all honesty,
Yeah.
a lot of these trades, especially, are having trouble getting new employees, young employees. So
And
this
this
is a
is-
great way to bring people on, treat
Yeah.
them like an apprentice.
And get them the passion that you have for your product, your business. And so that's really what, where scouting's going. Now, that being said, if you're another nonprofit or another organization would like to sponsor more of our traditional packs and troops and things like that, we need more of those too. And because we really need those sponsorships to really particularly get troops started, because there is a financial obligation to get the uniforms, to get stuff. And a lot of times families sometimes may or may not have the resources to do that. And usually the troop sponsors are the ones that kind of help fill that gap a little bit, fill that void, partnering with scouting, the Conquistador Council, obviously, to work on these things. But generally that sponsor works there to provide, a meeting space and a place where these scouts can do scout stuff and give them that. So if you have the means and the desire to do that, it would be great. It'd be great. Conquistador Council is always looking, and not just here in Roswell, but all over Southeast New Mexico.
That's right. Yep. nmscouts.org. You can find everything scouting, of course.
Absolutely. And now, just curious, Denise, are you going to be out these weekends out at the Lions, at the Scout Hut here with the Lions?
I will buy my tickets and I
Okay.
will participate. But I'm actually a member of the Ruidoso Evening Lions Club.
Okay.
So I'm serving with the state governorship for the
Okay.
Lions and
Okay.
in that capacity. But I'm doing everything I can to support all of our
Lions
Lions.
all help Lions.
That's
and everything.
right.
I was just thinking maybe you're going to be hanging out there. They could pick your brain about Scout stuff.
Well, there'll be plenty of scouts.
There will be plenty of stuff. The Parmans will be there.
Well, I'm about to say you would be surprised that we have a lot of folks in our community that are big Scouters and Scout supporters, and they've been a long time.
Well,
and-
we were taught to serve as scouts, and I was so excited that I was able to join the Lions Club as a scout.
Well, and I think, too, it is that organization where we all served as, in some way, shape, or form had a connection in our youth. And either we missed something that we wanted to or never did, now we do, or someone like me that was like, I owe much of what I do through scouting. Who I am today, scouting is, without that, I'd be a different person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For me, my mom was a Lion.
Okay.
One of the first female Lions where we were from in Southeast Texas. So I saw
Interesting.
my mom serve, and I want to
Interesting.
serve too.
And that's another thing, too. Now that, women are integrated into the scouting program, we've had our first female Eagle Scouts here in Roswell and Chavez County, Conquistador Council here, and we're seeing that nationwide. And so it's great to see that scouting's being embraced because the values of scouting, I've seen it my whole life. And, I know it. We can get down to the basics and Baden-Powell and what how this all started, and that's it. At the end of the day, it's about making well-rounded young people and making them into mature, capable adults. That's in whatever path they choose, whatever dreams they desire, whatever goals and aspirations they have in life. Scouting gives them the tools to pursue that path.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Whatever it is, whether it's writing, creating, going to the moon, or whatever it is, Scouting gives you the problem-solving skills, the knowledge. And by the way, it's kind of fun and exciting, and it does push you out your comfort zone. There are going to be times you're going to be nervous because you're about to climb a tree or rock climb or do something.
It's how you build character.
Scare the living days.
I was an assistant scoutmaster years ago,
Mm-hmm.
too. And I remember going on camping trips. I was in the Air Force, so Air Force would actually pay me while I went on the trip, which was great,
I love when they do that. Yeah.
So I took one troop out, and I told the boys, everybody bring 2 pair of pants, 2 pair of clothes. You never know.
You never know.
So
Be prepared.
Every time I went out, there was always one kid who said, Mr. Martin, I'm cold.
Yeah.
Well, get out your other pair. I didn't bring them. So you have to go through a period. Each scout has to go through a period where he's cold
Mm-hmm.
and wet and lousy and feeling terrible. And then he'll figure it out.
Yep.
And before you know it, he's an adult.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we went on a camping trip and you're like, we forgot the frying pan. We got the whatever it was. And you're like, man, dinner's going to be different tonight. Lesson learned. Double check before you do these things. But that's the lessons learned in scouting. They learn through mistakes sometimes, but they learn through, and that's
absolutely.
And the one thing I love is it evolves, because as the kids get older, the kids, and I say kids, the youth shift from total absorption to being a part of the leadership process. When they're obviously at the youngest, the Tigers and those early years of Cub Scouting, the adults are running and driving most of that program. But as they get into the scouting program, where they start to the road to Eagle there in that part, at the early scouts, that's more, and adults are there to keep everybody out of trouble and everything else. But really, at the end of the day, it's your older scouts, your 16, 17-year-old kids. They're the ones that are planning the events, that are deciding what trips you're going on, who's going to pay for it, how is that going
It's how
to
they
happen?
learn to become a leader.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where, and the adults are on the sideline, being the safety net, and also being the mentors, being the guide, and say, I don't know, how are you going to pay for that? What do you think some ideas on that? Maybe how do we? And that's where the adults serve. They serve as those mentors, but serve as the safety net too. When they go.
That's right. Mostly mentors. You're right, because the adults are there, but the boys have to run it.
Exactly.
So
the scouts run it. The scouts just dictate. I mean, as I got older, and then obviously there's other things through scouting. I even got into Order of the Arrow, and there's other organizations that are part of in scouting that kind of cement the values of scouting, but also give them other leadership and other opportunities. And once you get into scouting, you can learn about Order of the Arrow and all that stuff. Today, that's like level 12 stuff. You teach you level 1.
I have another story, because when I was in scouting, this is in the 50s. Let's go way back. Our troop had about 30 scouts. I mean, it was a big troop. And one year, the hurricane, I don't remember the name of it, came through. This is in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay.
And it came through, and it hit Cameron, which is right on the coast. Just wiped it out. I mean, all these camping houses gone.
Mm-hmm.
And our troop loaded our wagon up and was down there, our survival wagon, before the Red Cross. Because we were ready.
Yeah.
We were ready for that stuff. And
that's scouting.
We were there. That's scouting. Yeah.
That's scouting. Be prepared. All these things you hear as mottos, that's not just something they say. They do these things. They practice it. They teach these things. That book I was telling you to go pick up, that's all that is full of be prepared stuff. It literally, yes, you want to learn the history of scouting and all of that stuff, you'll find it in that book. But if you want to know about what plants aren't going to kill you, it's in there too.
And especially the ones that might kill you.
Yeah. Oh, you want to know hey, you need to make a tripod for something because you're out. Hey, here's the lashing that shows you just how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's that book, and I don't care what you said. That's handy. And I know everybody and their uncle's like, I got this. What am I going to need that for?
It doesn't work everywhere.
Yeah. You live in New Mexico. How often do you run into places where that thing don't work? And that, but guess what? That scout book works.
Yeah.
At night, you might need some light, but other than that, it works. But anyway, please check it out. Come learn more about scouting. If you have youth that are interested, or if you're an adult that wants to get involved, they're always looking for adults to serve at the troop level, at the district level, even as merit badge counselors. Maybe you don't have a youth, but maybe you have a skill set. Maybe you're good in scouting has a lot of merit badges, from first aid to stamp collecting and everything in between. If you have a passion or a hobby, or your day job involves some of these things, maybe you can serve in that role, is to teach youth your skill sets, to teach these merit badges to help them do that.
How many badges do we have now?
I think there's over 200.
Yeah, when I was there, we had maybe 50.
Yeah, it is a lot now, last I remembered, I think you only need 21 for Eagle, but there's hundreds of badges to explore. And again, that's all about what scouting does. It really is throw everything at the wall and see what these kids are into. There's a lot of that. They give them a lot of opportunities. Scout camp is way different nowadays than it was when I was a kid. I mean, now they have like a computer center in some of these scout camps and things. And I'm like, what? We didn't even have a phone.
One of the first badges
One
of the first badges that Cub Scouts can earn is a cyber chip, and it's for online safety awareness.
Yeah.
So I way overestimated. There's only 135, but there's still way more than 50.
Yeah. This is what scouting is, that opportunity for your kids, for your family. And please, if anybody ever asks me, do you think, I will tell you yes. Scouting, I would have never got to do. Now, granted, my parents helped. I mean, not the average scout does not go on a world jamboree. I'm telling you, I'm the exception, not the rule there. But the fact I got to do that, and quite frankly, I'm sure it would have cost thousands more if I did something like that on my own than what, you know what I mean? I would have never got that experience based on the income that my parents you know what I mean? Scouting provided that. That's what, not to mention, like I said, I'm fear of heights, but guess what? And I still am scared of heights, and you're never going to get me going rock climbing or volunteering, but I did lumberjacking, where I'm literally with the spikes and I'm climbing the tree pole. I've done the rappelling, the rock climbing, the things that people with heights don't do. I did those in scouting. Now, don't get me wrong, I still don't like heights, and but I did it, and I can say I did it, and I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I said, yes, I overcame that, despite the fact that it scares the living daylights out of me. Do I want to do it again? Oh, no, but I did it, and I said I did it, and it makes me stronger and makes me aware that I am capable of things, even, you know what I mean? Like, I would have never thought I could do it, and I'm not saying I like it or want to do it, but life or death hits me, I can do it, and there's something in your brain when you know you can do those
build
things.
confidence,
And
absolutely.
Scouting creates that. So.
Well, the first 7 astronauts were all Eagles.
And Eagles and Eagles like Marines. There's no such thing as a former Marine. There's no such thing as a former Eagle. You're an Eagle Scout all your life when you're an Eagle Scout, just like the Marines here. And it's treated as such. So all you adults out there that's, I was an Eagle. No, you are an Eagle. Whether it was 30 years ago or last week, you're an Eagle. If anybody wants to learn more about scouting, I know I got very, there's so many different ways. The Conquistador Council has a Facebook page. You can go like and follow that and shoot a message out to that. You can go to the official Conquistador Council website.
nmscouts.org.
Very good. And like I said, if you like the press the flesh, come on down to the Scout Hut, the Scout office there on Aspen, basically Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. It's open. You can come on by and do some Christmas shopping and learn more about scouting, find a troop or a pack near you.
Or come to the Christmas light wagon rides. Yeah. There's going to be scouts there. Oh, we'd love to see you. Come buy your tickets.
Yeah, there's going to be scouts there. And I'm telling you right now, do not wait. One more time, give them the Midday Lions website, Larry, for them to get
Okay, it's Roswell, Midday, which is MIDDAY.
Okay.
Lions.org.
So if you see the 2 D's in the middle, you did it right.
Right.
I always tell people with our RoswellLegion.org website, like, you see 3 L's in the middle, you did it right.
if you do a search in Roswell Lions, you'll get it.
It should pop right up. But if you like to type exact, and please book your reservations now. Again, it'll be this Friday, this Saturday, and this Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. And then we'll do it all over again next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You'll meet at the Scout headquarters there on Aspen. What's that?
2603 North Aspen.
There you go. If you want to put it in your GPS there. So it's right off a country club. If you're coming from Main Street, you'll see the Jehovah's Witness.
Mormons.
The Mormons. I'm sorry. Their church there. The road right after that is the Aspen there. Yeah. So turn right there, and if you hit where it meets Sycamore, you went too far. Turn around, come back.
And one last thing worth mentioning before we leave is we are always looking for members to join the Lions Club. So if you have an interest in serving your community.
We were talking about scouting, but Lions are always another great civic organization.
That's right.
Serving, yeah.
We meet the first and third Mondays of each month at Stellar Coffee at 12:30. At the back of the building.
Next Monday, in fact, we'll be there at 12:30.
Right.
Another great business that does support their community as well.
I love Stellar Coffee. They they're always home to not just Lions, but many other things, and they're just a community space on top of being a pretty good place to get a cup of coffee and a sandwich.
We notice there's a lot of guys in there with their computers in the cafe part.
Well, you get work done. But I love that they support the community like that. So support them too. So grab a cup of coffee while you're at the meeting and be a part of that. And if you love to serve, that's another great way to do it. Especially maybe if you have a personal story on glasses or eyewear, and then maybe it means a little special something to your heart. And the Lions would love to have you. And I think it's based on your meeting time. So if like the midday meeting times don't work out for you, then we've got
there's an evening club.
There's an evening club.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based on their meeting time, which is based on your schedule, which is the best one to join. So
and we realize, if you have a job in the middle of the day, you obviously can't join us particularly, but you can join the evening. Which is a small club too. We're both small,
and we do a lot of events and things together.
So I'm going to take a stab. There's probably more retirees at the midday because just because the work schedule. I could be wrong. But I'm going to take a guess.
Actually, just two of us.
Oh,
retired.
Okay, the rest they take long lunches. They run the business. They can take long lunch they want.
We have two wives. The husbands are still working.
We do have a lot of couples in Lions Clubs.
Good. I love that because couples. That's
our last district president was a lady. So that doesn't matter to us.
Well, usually because now you got a partner doing it together, and then you push each other. And it's a good thing. So I would highly recommend if you're looking for couples activities together, maybe join a service organization like Lions Club. It's a good way to do couples things together too.
I think the others like Kiwanis and Rotary and Optimist are looking for people too. So
all service clubs are looking.
If you're getting kind of bored and you're retired, join a club.
I tell everybody, and I just saw the time we got to go. I say pick one thing. I don't care what it is. Pick your passion and do it. If everybody in town picked that one thing, we probably wouldn't have any need for any volunteers. I think we'd be covered.
Yeah.
If you just picked your one thing, whether it's coaching, whether it's scouting, whether it's a service organization like the Lions, whatever your passion is, pick that thing and get involved with it. So, thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Mike.
We'll see you here next time, and get on out there and support the Lions and learn more about scouting. Get involved.
Thank you again.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
9:58. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Roswell Tire and Appliance has a great selection of brand new refrigerators, freezers, ranges, washers, and dryers, all with special Black Friday and Christmas pricing. With Roswell Tire and Appliance, you can have it in your home for the holidays. Save even more on their selection of scratch and dent appliances. Plus, find a huge selection of tires and the people that can help you get it done. Roswell Tire and Appliance can repair your appliances as well. They pride themselves in service long after the sale with repair warranty, and they deliver to all of Roswell and the surrounding area. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, and enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com. Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology.
Most cabinet ministers are still working from offices in Damascus. That's after rebels entered the capital over the weekend and overthrew President Bashar Assad. Meanwhile, a criminal spokesman says Russia is helping the former Syrian president.
The Kremlin says Russia has granted political asylum to former Syrian President Bashar Assad and that President Vladimir Putin had personally made a decision to offer this to Assad. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says. In a conference call with reporters, Peskov added, such decisions certainly can't be made without the head of state. Peskov wouldn't comment on Assad's specific whereabouts. He said that Putin wasn't planning to meet with Assad. The Kremlin spokesman also said that Moscow has been doing everything needed to ensure security of its military bases in Syria. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Also at townhall.com, the United States searching for a missing American in Syrian prisons. White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
President Biden and top U.S. officials believe Austin Tice is alive, and the government is communicating with people on the ground in Syria about his possible whereabouts. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said locating Tice and getting him home safely is a top priority for the U.S. Tice is a former U.S. Marine and a freelance journalist who was abducted in Syria more than 12 years ago. Greg Clugston, the White House.